Don't worry about it.
Three Mistlings.
Okay.
All right, Wednesday, are we clicking auto now?
If you want to, yeah. I'm curious what
Okay, cool.
happens.
Yeah,
see it.
do it.
No.
Oh yeah,
You lose.
Yaka with this giant lance. Perfect.
Darn.
Yeah, guys, strong.
My death
Oh
magic
my
didn't work.
God. Oh my god.
Yuck, you fool.
Why so many shield units?
Because shield units live and then you get to fight longer, I guess. I mean, my suspicion is that he's using something like he did last week. I haven't actually looked at what his shield units do.
He's got triple phantasms.
Ooh.
Yep.
Cold-blooded. Interesting. Not what I was expecting from those traits.
This is good.
Good weapon.
Yeah. All right. Where are we fighting at? Oh, didn't we want to do a thing about, like, since I'm primal, we get to fight in whatever my favorite terrain is?
You have favorite terrain?
Zombie can decide, I think, if he thinks that's fair or
Yeah,
not. But
I am
Generally,
okay
what
with
we've
it.
been doing is if there's only one source of favored terrain, then you go to that source, right? It's not if you're primal, you just get to fight there. It's
And
that
what's your
if
favorite
if
terrain?
zombie also was playing like
Snow.
glades and had the ability to play in forests or something like that, then you would bounce off of each other.
Right.
Wait, what does Glades actually get out of forests in the combat?
They have their like you have to take it as a skill on their ruler, but their ruler gives them like I don't know, it's like 10% extra damage and defense and resistance.
Doesn't
Oh,
Leaf
okay.
Skin
On
also do
everybody.
something?
It's pretty reasonable.
I thought Leaf
Yeah,
Skin
Leaf Skin
did
does
something as well.
like being invisible and being able to move through quickly.
Okay, we
And
can fight on this frost snowy terrain on next turn.
Is that where?
Yeah, I think that's fine as long as you guys are cool with it.
Yeah, I'm cool.
Okay, so we need snow terrain.
It's
Oh,
already
you're standing on
snow.
it right
Yeah.
now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
We can fight on this province.
I need
Here's
it
the
in my
unit that I
turn.
placed forward.
There we
Yeah,
go. Turn
move
ended.
forward, and it's okay.
Yeah.
The-
Attack the one with
Look
the nymph.
at Glades. That was what I was
Okay.
thinking.
There's some
Doge.
mammoths out there somewhere now. Oh, all the way over there.
They're
Mhm.
hiding.
Who's hiding?
Mammoths.
What you doing?
I mean, Frost Warden is a pretty good leader skill, +1 resistance and armor. And 10% damage is pretty good. I think if you use that and you were playing the wolf person and you just were spawning in the woods right before a fight, that sounds actually pretty awesome. Maybe like Druidic Terraformer with that.
Yeah, Glades.
Okay.
Glades has a
Oh,
lot of
and you
stuff in its
cast
package
this
that's good.
stuff.
Well, I have to, right? That's the point of
Yeah.
taking the tome. Are
We
you?
have only one strategic spell, yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can cast my.
Yeah, go ahead and cast yours.
Okay, okay. What targets I don't like?
Right? Is it worth going for the higher army strength, or is it worth taking out the tier 1s? Because Arcanists. Oh wait, no, that's you. Never mind.
Yeah.
You're considering this because he's giving you a 5, and a 5 to pick from. I love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why am I
An
not doing
awful
that?
lot of my army or my stack composition choices
I-
are just trying to make
I
it
think
as.
I more stronger and I attacking you. Yes.
Does it show that you have stronger army strength?
Oh, it's so
Yes,
close.
yes.
It's
In
5.
it's
So
5.
close. 5
It's only 5.
points.
But
Okay.
I am attacking.
That might be the closest
Do
army
we
strength I've ever seen. I don't think I've seen a tie
uh,
before. Well,
make
actually, no.
auto before fight or not?
Because our heroes were
Does
190
it
versus
actually work to
190.
do
That's
auto
so
before
funny.
fight? I thought
Well,
it.
if it
I
does,
thought
if
you
it
said that
doesn't work,
didn't.
We have
if
a
it doesn't
revert.
work,
can't
we'll
just
just repair the
revert,
turn.
yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
revert was pretty much where we were here.
Okay, I post screenshot. And after this, we can try auto. Auto.
That says I'm ahead, but oh no, never mind.
I kind of expect that auto is going to give the
Yes.
window
Yes,
to
yes,
zombie
yes.
because he does have the
No,
elemental advantage.
I lose auto.
Oh,
I mean, I have
Cool.
Tome of the Fey Mists, and I'm in the mists.
Yeah.
That is such a
we'll
huge
see how
power
that
swing
works
for
for
me.
you in manual combat. We will
Yeah,
see.
we'll see.
So, wait second. Auto. Ooh. I'll make screenshot. A retry.
Oh, that's a pretty convincing loss.
Yep.
I
guess
believe
this
in
front line
zombie.
must have just fallen apart. I mean, like, I don't see how else he lost that badly. But you know, anything can happen in autos.
The dice
Yep.
rolls went your way too, I bet, with those white witches
don't
and
think there's gonna be-
seduces and whatnot.
As much dice rolling as you expect in this fight.
What do these guys do?
Oh no, I hate this terrain that makes it impossible to see where all the mist is.
Yes, you did this to
Yes.
This
yourself.
is gonna be
Good,
impossible.
good,
Oh my
good.
god.
You That's why
Got
you
that
should just hit
slight
You can see
auto.
greenish
them a little
tint.
better if you zoom all the way out, because then they turn like kind of highlighted green.
A little bit.
I see it on any zoom. It's just green for me.
Gosh, the
It's,
frenzy
well,
here's
I
gonna
can
be a
You're
see
away
lot.
from
them.
the-
It's just hard.
Okay.
Yeah, they're really, really faint when I zoom in, but when I zoom all the way out, they're a little more apparent.
I bet you could adjust things a little bit because in the shadows I can see them really easily, but in the middle, no.
Yeah, in the middle, it's just like splotches of teal. You can probably see it pretty easily by mousing over it with an active unit because it'll highlight green. But as we discovered the last time we used this, like sometimes the mists just don't apply to your unit for whatever reason. It might just be because of like the too many units bug,
Yeah. Too many hexes
or
have too much information,
something
or
similar. Yeah,
yeah,
something.
it could be like the summoning limitation, or they may have a similar like 64 floral things can be kept track of on the map at any given time.
Yeah, there are a lot of potential explanations for the problem observed, but just be aware that you're like only 95% gonna get mists whenever you stand on it.
Wait, what?
Adjust your priors. There's like some kind of bug with the mists, and we're not sure what it is, but you're not guaranteed to get the clinging mists effect from standing on a mist square, even though you're supposed to. There's some sort of
That's-
observable bug where you just miss it sometimes.
That is hideous to
And
hear.
The game
yeah,
does lie.
the game does lie.
It's not the
It's
only
mostly
place that it
accurate.
lies to
It
you.
seems to be like maybe like the 1 in 256 miss bug in like Gen 1 Pokemon, but like it's definitely observable.
I think it's less
Oh.
forgivable than when you get bolstering defense
Ninja,
and you don't get a kill.
Did you really
Yeah.
want play this mini game? Because
Oh, yeah.
I'm
okay.
passing the heal,
I-
but also
I-
yes, we do tend to do that, even though I dislike it, because like
I'm okay with it. No. I'm.
I don't know how you would like enforce someone
Man-
not doing that.
He's
Okay,
saying
okay.
I can do more better, I think is what he was
You can
saying.
do it
Because he has
as long
attuned
as you want.
I think
casting. I'm
it's
just
I think
seeing.
it's a core part of the game. It might be
Okay,
boring
okay.
for people to watch Buff Circus,
No.
but I think you do need to play it.
My point, not in this.
I think I
It,
see what you're saying.
because
I think
more
that
turns.
I think we
More
should
turns.
probably move to the other voice channel at some point.
No.
If
Oh,
you're ready, I
yeah.
can go over to that. Yeah. No, I think I
can-
see what
yeah.
he's
can do
saying
it.
though. If you guys want to, share any of your thoughts, feel free to. We'll be in what you
Yeah.
think, A1
Yeah.
2
Okay.
or multiplayer 2 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's close.
We
So
can.
Yeah, just like drop on by. You want to chat?
We can chat each other.
All right.
so he's
So
got the attuned cast, right? That's what he's saying is that he can just keep casting spells for no mana, just casting points every 3 turns.
It's so much worse than that. Like I don't know if Ninju remembers the last time that we fought whenever I played Mystics and had a build kind of similar to this. But like the core of what Ninju is trying to do, which is get around, attacks that check evasion, does absolutely nothing against like the core of Zombie's army here.
Oh, the
Look at how
AoE.
many different units he has that have AoEs that don't check for evasion at all. And then 2 of Zombie's units even have Star Purge to remove all positive buffs. So like Ninju's gonna spend 15 actions stacking up all of these buffs on all of the different units, and then Zombie's gonna spend 1 to remove all of them. So like this is I think that's exactly what Zombie is trying to like highlight for Ninju there. Is that I don't think this is going to go particularly well for Ninju unless he finds a good engagement early. Like
You're so
the
right.
tools that Zombie has here are a lot better than what Ninju seems to be giving him
Oh,
credit
and
for.
oh no, the Phantasm Warriors are gonna take a bunch of damage
A
as
bunch of
magic.
extra damage because all of
Same with
Zombie's units
Mistlings.
have lightning weapons. Like this is Ninju's about to walk into a trap if because I mean I don't know, he seems to always have like really high confidence, and so sometimes that can just be bluster, but sometimes it's clear that he just like doesn't know that he's walking into a trap, and this one looks like he's walking in.
Yeah, and I don't know. The magic origin units are pretty plentiful here. It seems like actually zombie counters him pretty adequately. I'm loving the
Yeah.
fact that he's got all of this fire bomb. Like he doesn't even need to get close. You just sit back and keep throwing down fire bomb.
Yeah,
Like
he's got
everybody has
7
fire
battle
bomb.
mages in this fight.
Everybody.
Like with 7 battle mages, he can and 2 of them even having their own innate AoE. Because like I don't know, I keep going up on Firebomb based off of this this skirmish mod where it's like
Yeah.
it still is not convincing in like a regular game because you're probably not gonna have 4 Arcanists in your army on turn 25, or actually this is a tier 3 home, so like on turn 40, right?
Oh, it
Are
keeps
you
them
really gonna have a
viable,
bunch
which
of
is
Arcanists?
it's something that I hadn't considered because like tier 1s they drop off so
They're
fast.
still
But
way
if
too
you can,
fragile. You
if you
can't bring these into a normal fight. But like here in Skirmish, I think this is going to be a really awesome tier 1.
I do think based off of a lot of different things in the game, it's hard for people to spread themselves thin and actually just place like 6 units by themselves off on enemies' borders to go raiding or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
you're right.
I think
They're, some powerful tier 1s could actually be helpful.
I hope
Like
that
even just clearing stuff near their territory is good.
I think for the long term, like uh health of the game, it would be nice to see tier 1s become more viable like they were in Planetfall. That was one of my favorite things about Planetfall is like your starting units, if you kept them alive, they could be just like so useful all game. But at a certain point you want to be able to upgrade and just like not have to fight
I
the
I
tier
mean,
one
like,
anvil
I don't
guards
know.
forever or whatever that you've been
Yeah,
fighting
like,
since the beginning.
honestly, some of the tier 1 units are so unbelievably good that if they scaled really well, I would be upset. Like,
Yeah.
if Anvil Guards scaled well enough and had the tools necessary to survive and be competitive with like tier 2.5 units, then Industrious, and this is speaking as someone whose favorite culture is Industrious. Industrious would be like way too good, right? Just way too good. And
Hmm.
then they would have to like go back and redesign some of the tier ones for other things. Like I think they would have to redesign warriors too. Like any of the really good tier ones and Phantasm warriors. Can you imagine if tier one scaled better?
Yeah, yeah, right. Well,
Phantasm warriors.
I'm just thinking Oofsaw Slithers. It's
Like
yeah, let's
my
do it.
point being that like if you do that, then it shifts the power balance down so much because there are already a lot of really good tier ones and like part of what keeps them in check and allows knowledge to actually like grow and be an important part of the game is that you can't just rely on those powerful tier ones indefinitely.
Yeah.
And I think that's a feature, not a bug.
Well, they did say with the 1 year anniversary, they're planning to go past Eldritch Realms, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
Yeah.
just like so curious what that is going to result in. There's so many different themes they could explore, so many different mechanics they could explore.
I want to be able to play as like mermen or Sahuagin.
Yeah, that sounds
I want
great.
to be able to
I
play
want,
in
yeah,
the actual ocean.
I,
That's all I want.
that has to be something they're going to focus on, right? It does seem like a very highly requested feature. People liked the Naga
The
and
water rework
in
was so good. And yeah, the Naga stuff was great, but like just mechanically, the water rework. Now I like having water on our maps in
mhm.
multiplayer.
I just want to
Like
be
I
able
know
to
they're
make
not
a
for
city
absolutely
in the
everybody, but
water and not have like
yeah, yeah.
unsettled deep ocean because that seems like real estate that I want to take advantage
Yeah.
of.
Like if there were a society trait or like a cultural pick that allowed you to play on the water and then put outposts on the water, that would also just like open up like entirely different dimensions for play for like barbarians out there.
Hmm.
Like there's just a lot that would I think be really fun, but I also kind of just want them to like redo the underground rework because
Oh
underground
my
is just
god. Yes.
painful.
No, I think they will do
Like it's
of
goofing
underground
honestly.
focused expansion so that they can actually put the efforts to try and make it more enjoyable because we're not the only ones who say just
Yeah,
don't do
it's not fun
underground.
now.
I really want to do an all underground game. I think that would be a pretty fun like setting, but like I don't feel like it's fair to play underground without informing people beforehand.
Yeah, I think I would be down for that, but I'd want to do it like if they announce an underground rework like after the rework.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. It's one of these games where I want to let people just do what they want after new stuff, but I also love the idea of themes. And
I think if we communicated with everybody ahead of time and there was like a giant underground rework, I think we could find enough people interested in doing it,
mhm.
especially if we had like something fun on the overmap. I don't know what that would be because like a lot of the like realm traits slow the game down. And for multiplayer, these games are long enough, right?
Yeah. No, there's a lot of them that I find aren't very impactful and some that are just like they change the game entirely.
But like if everybody is underground, then like thematically, for me at least, I want the overworld to be like a post-apocalyptic hellscape.
Yeah.
But like any of the traits that imply that, I think also imply slowing the game down by just like if you can't heal on the surface, for instance, that mostly doesn't like make the end game harder for any of the players involved. It just makes like the micromanagement of units getting up to that point a lot more important, which I as someone who micros a lot of units on the strategic map, I don't enjoy doing it. right? I just feel compelled to,
I
and more of those effects would result in more of those compulsions.
I think if they ever did like, a big rework like that and an expansion, what would be really neat is if you could simply just say literally no underground, check off, or
Yeah.
no overworld. Like literally everybody is just underground. This is like a, a planet where you can't get to the surface. You're just in the crust somewhere.
Yep. Wait, this also kind of like looks like a problem for Ninju just on like the resistances side. Like not even just like the elemental damage that's going to be incoming for the Phantasm Warriors, but he has like a bazillion shield units
Yeah.
and those don't line up particularly well against battle mages. Like without I think Ninju would be in a much better place if he just had a dragon. If he could just click exhilarating roar here, then
Yeah.
I think that I would be telling an entirely different story. But without a worldwide haste, I don't see how he gets a successful engagement on zombie without losing just giant parts of his army.
I think what he's gonna do is he's gonna just throw down as many summons as possible in hopes the bodies will allow him to get enough stuns and seduces and whatnot, action economy stuff to even the field. Because they are playing I don't know how many turns they've got left until the game kicks them out. I hope they're very aware of that. I know they're aware of that. I hope somehow they don't forget.
I mean, there's a non-zero chance that we see a summon Glacial Mammoth like next turn, right?
Yeah, and they can run forward and be aggressive.
One thing that I am kind of shocked looking over Zombie's army, do you see how many soothers he has?
I saw one earlier. Is that it?
He only has one. So his other source of warding is that he's actually placed a staff of frost on his
Hey
other
guys,
hero.
hey
Yo,
What's up?
guys, I got a
yo,
question for you. So if
what you
you
got?
take a look at his leader is wearing both a Mask of Precision and Evoker's Robes, which are both tier 2 items. Now they do
Ah,
both come from the same pack,
Yes,
however.
yes,
So is that
yeah,
legal? Is
yeah.
that what I
If
should be
they
doing from this point forward?
that
Okay,
that
cool.
I have been emphasizing that as many times as possible. Whenever you say one tier two item, I try to correct you
Okay,
like
so
that.
armor is actually
But
3 tier 2 items.
I hadn't
sort of
realized that before.
the tier 2 boots are garbage, so you kind of can't bring them. They make you
Mm,
move speed 24, and you can try to offset that with haste, but it's still insanely slow. So it's really two tier 2 items that you get on it, but considering that you also get two tier 2 items on weapons if you want a weapon like a lightning sword and a
Sword
noble
that's
shield.
aegis.
that's really
So
conditional as opposed to getting 2 good tier 2 items from armor stuff.
yeah, and
Yeah, but like Mask of Precision plus a tier 1 weapon isn't going to be like crushing people.
I see what Ninja's
Mm,
saying though, because we give the limitation of one ring or
yeah,
miscellaneous,
and
not like,
also
three of
also like
those.
you could take Mask of Precision and whatever with like a champion and get a tier 3 ranged weapon with it.
Yeah, that would be really powerful. That would be something interesting to see. Like we might want to move like miscellaneous and rings to one but I think that it's beneficial to have multiple tier 2 items in the same pack cuz you can get most of the like I think the only thing that you
I
kind of can't is mounts.
I tend to feel like armor is already sort of generally the more valuable thing before considering that I also get a tier 2 crown on top of that. So I
I
kind of don't like that.
disagree. I think tier 2's my favorite remains Wand of Blizzards and probably always will be.
Yeah, I mean, sure, but the fact that you're also giving up your tier 2 slot for an ability instead of getting like some stats is still a pretty substantial trade-off to go for Wand of Blizzards, especially if, you otherwise don't really want magic damage, then it's not as valuable if you're not getting all of that
It's not that difficult to just get strength in 5 and then just use Wand of Blizzards to just crush entire flanks. Like you don't need to do magic damage stacking, you just
Yeah,
need to
yeah, yeah.
strengthen.
No, I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm saying that like it's not an easy slam pick, right? It's not like
I I think this is worth revisiting, probably having like a conversation with everybody in Discord, but I honestly don't think that it's a that big a problem right now,
I think
considering like what people get, because you also get Ring of Regeneration on dragons on tier 2 miscellaneous, like
Yeah, but
the
dragons
the
can't take anything else.
so.
yeah, but they kind of don't even need to.
I think me and
What else are
Ninja
you gonna take?
had been playing one tier 2 for armor somehow. Like we had that
Yeah.
interpretation of the rules because I'm pretty sure that's how I'd been playing too, Ninja.
I think the fact that tier 2 dragons also or that the fact that dragon leader also just automatically basically determines what your tier 2 selection is going to be for both your dragon and your hero is also just something that I'm not going to say it's not balanced, but it's just dull. It's not an interesting
I
choice.
think we can have a conversation about it, but honestly, I don't think it's impacted like the meta thus far. Like I think
I
the
mean,
things that have been strongest have primarily been miscellaneous and then tier 3 weapons on champions. Like that's just like
I
empirical.
don't know. I feel like if I'm not doing dragon or have a particular reason to do Wand of Blizzards, then I'm not really taking miscellaneous for anything else.
I mean, miscellaneous gives you access to Wind Barrier Ring, which also just like
Yeah,
ends
that's
entire late games. Like there's
That's
a lot of
nice if
stuff
I'm
in tier
already
2
using
miscellaneous.
miscellaneous. I'm generally not going to pick miscellaneous for both my hero and my leader because of Wind Barrier Ring, right? That's just the nice. Well, this is my other good miscellaneous option after I've selected Ring of Regeneration or Wand of Blizzards.
Maybe. I think we can have that conversation later. Because now the game is afoot. Like spells are being cast,
Yeah, I'm just.
but it is as the rules are written and as interpreted. Like this is exactly correct. At least
Okay.
what from what I have been playing.
Yeah, no, I think that it's definitely something that is worth trying to check for in the future when people are setting up, so at least we know people are doing the same thing. Because like if Ninja knew that, he would just pick more items. I think at the
I
beginning,
pick
maybe.
armor more often, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I think it's time to get back to the game.
Yeah, I see ya.
It's his turn anyways, it seems now.
Yeah,
Zombie
almost.
just
And now he's got an infectious
positioned.
insanity down on that Phantasm Warrior.
Did he now? Ooh, there
Yeah.
we
He got
go.
an infectious insanity down with a triple attack potentially onto that protector, and then if the protector gets insaned by that, then it'll get a triple attack onto the ancestral warden.
Oh
Now the
boy.
warden will obviously have much higher stats resistance. Oh no, the Phantasm Warrior went in the wrong direction. Oh,
That's
but it's
really
still got to
good. No,
spread.
it's really good.
Oh my god.
No, that's really,
Yes.
really good. Zombie, I love
Yes.
infections. That's so much. That's probably one
This
of the
is
most
incredible.
infections I've ever seen in one.
Well,
I'm
he's just
I
running.
I can't believe that happened.
There's no status resistance on Ninju's side, right? So Ninju just doesn't have a lot of counterplay here. He just like there's low tier units are always going to be vulnerable to infectious insanity.
But the targeting was perfect because I,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
I've seen them
he
run
got
up,
really lucky
infect
there.
somebody, and then get attacked right back. Like when they had other targets, like it just went through 4 units
Four
actions.
units.
4 units actions. Those guys
The,
are not only not able to get out of the way, they're gonna do that again.
yeah, they got 2 turns on the infectious insanity. He's got to come up with a solution to this like now.
Well, he's got
And this is
the
where revitalize would be fantastic, but he
he. Oh no! Oh
he used it
no!
already. So he doesn't have that.
Oh
But the way it would be
no!
great here.
I think it might be over.
Yeah, I this is what I mean, man. Like I looked at these army compositions and I'm like, this is gonna be the easiest one-sided fight for zombie. Like I think again, if he just had a dragon with haste, I think that this could be a very different game.
Okay.
But he's just not gonna get he's not gonna get close to zombie before he loses everybody.
He could just keep attuning casting every 3 turns to throw down more infectious insanity, which means he can't simply just like try to
Yeah.
deal with this over and over and over again.
Yeah, Ninju has to attack him. Like that is kind of what Zombie was also telling him in the early like on the first turn was like, if you
can't
just
sit
sit in
back.
the back and do whatever you want to, you're gonna kill your entire army.
My guys won't
And
take any damage.
yeah, okay.
Oh no, I kind of wish we were hearing Ninju's laments, but I don't
I
know.
mean,
It's probably a good thing to skip that part.
yeah, I think this is still going to be interesting no matter what. But the more that I see this, the more it looks like it was not it was actual bluster. That Ninju did not realize he was about to walk into a trap.
And he just needed to
See,
say that revitalize, he'd
this
be
is sort of what I mean.
okay.
Like
Damn.
mists and primal and warding, all of these things have actual weaknesses in game, even if they are necessarily like more powerful than just like generic things. Understanding that there is counterplay to even the strongest stuff is, I think, really useful.
Oh man, he used his turn getting spiritual healing down instead of healing with his fate blessing, which is a free action. Oh yeah, he didn't need to use revitalize at all.
He used revitalize on the first turn to offset the damage from the lightning spell, right? The lightning torrent
But he's all these
from the
free
strategic
action
player.
heals. He could have saved this, but
Yeah, he
how are
should
you
have saved the
supposed to predict
revitalize for
the
sure. He should have saved the revitalize.
You're
I mean, he could have known that Zombie had infectious insanity because Zombie does have the enchantment down.
Yeah.
So if he just opened up Zombie's units, he would have realized that there was an infectious insanity maybe coming.
I think
But
yeah.
like,
If I see mark of
this is
misfortune,
rough.
I know what that means.
Yeah, you see Mark, then you know you're in a lot of trouble, kid.
Oh, poor Ninju. He tried to be try hard. He was out try harded.
It's the way these things go sometimes. But Ninju didn't get like completely hosed in that the RNG roll, because at least his ancestral warden didn't get hit. Like that was the cascade problem, was if the ancestral warden got hit and then it used its jump effect to do an AoE to infect people, then Ninju could have easily had 11 units be infected last turn rather than 4.
Maybe this works, but I'm also very concerned about them just getting crits and killing off those battle mages that don't have anyone standing in front of them.
I mean, it is true that Ninju kind of does need to attack, but can heal off all of this damage from these infectious insanities. But because he's got double spell breakers, like the casting point cost is effectively 0.
I mean, I think
So I
infectious
guess
insanity is like
somebody needs to get.
30 or something.
Well, he also has a soother,
Yeah.
and he's got like powerful evokers, so Zombie can probably do this literally all day. I would not be surprised if Zombie ends up being able to cast like 11 instances of infectious insanity if given the time.
Alright, so I need to start writing a build to counter this in case I'm fighting him, because I had a build, but I don't think it's going to work against this.
I think so. This build, it definitely looks like this build would have some problems with AoE debuff. Like if you just had an alchemy, for instance, then you
Yeah.
could clear infectious insanity and apply a bunch of status protection, and then because like it gets you +2 per stack, you very rapidly outscale infectious insanity's ability to break through your status resistance. Like I think if actually generally if he had alchemy instead of cryomancy here, then Ninju could also probably fight back pretty easily, because alchemy is really good against mayhem.
Alright. If I'm going to do something against mystics, I want status resistance. Maybe I also mystic.
Oh no, this is just against infectious insanity. Against mystics, I think it's a different mix.
Maybe I should just
Like
be the
mystics have the
insaner.
ability to cast Infectious Insanity like 15 times or whatever, but like if you're fighting against somebody in a manual and they only cast it 4 times, that's still enough to be a huge problem. But like they're genuinely beyond alchemy and AoE debuff clears. There just aren't a lot of solutions for Infectious Insanity beyond having higher tier units.
Yeah. I mean, you could be constructs or something wild.
I mean, like once if you're playing actual Age of Wonders 4 and not Skirmish, then you'll just start getting mythic units who all naturally have control loss immunity, and so then Infectious Insanity just like doesn't do anything. But like in Skirmish mod, yeah, the tools are pretty limited.
Well, you can do vigor to make your cavalry and animals all immune
Yeah,
to it,
control
and
loss immune.
I like that interaction quite a bit.
Yeah, I think Vigor is definitely a really good tome in this in Skirmish mod that we haven't seen enough of.
I've been trying it out a little bit.
Oh my god, Ninja's gonna get 10,000 stacks of buffs and then Spellbreaker.
Wait,
All
did
gone.
we see the insane turn yet? No. It's
That was the beginning of that. That is just
all right.
that's Ninju's first turn in response to all of the insanity. So he has successfully healed off all of the damage, but unfortunately he has not successfully removed the debuff, and that means that all of those units with their insanity are going to act again and potentially spread the insanity even further.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm like half watching it now because I feel like this is gonna be done soon, and even though it's probably gonna be another 2 hours.
Yeah, it's gonna be unless something goes really really wrong, it's gonna be pretty difficult for Ninju to win from here. I think. Like his entire formation is just gonna be permanently disrupted.
Gosh, I wish I had the status resistance for 2 points, but no, it's a 3-point. I kind
Yeah,
of wish they
right.
didn't change that.
Resilient. God, that should be 2 points. If that were 2 points, it would get picked. I think probably on the same like speed and in intensity as like tough and resistant,
Yeah.
because it's such a good package of things. But it costs 3, and like you can't tell me that that's better than hardy plus resistant, because it's definitely not.
Yeah.
But like if it were just 2, I I I would take it in regular games, not just in skirmish mod. It's a little worse in regular games. So maybe it should be like 1.75 points there, but I don't know how you do that.
Magic. You change the game
Magic, yes.
entirely.
Yeah, we're gonna make it into a 23-point system instead.
Mm-hmm. Easy.
Yeah, very very easy for people to remember.
All right.
All right, so
this a
is
build?
Zombie gonna feel like he needs to move any units towards Ninju at all, or is he just gonna be casting Infectious Insanity and just sitting over here?
I mean, that's what I would do. I wouldn't fight him. I just literally
Yeah, he
have him
kind of
fight
doesn't need
himself.
to. Like Ninju's he used a lot of healing to offset everything, but all of those have cooldowns, right? Like these are not instantaneous heals, and now with another opportunity to just keep spamming the insanity. Especially if you can hit something like get Dark Ritual to fire on the hero.
My
If you can
God.
get your opponent to waste a once per battle ability with just this, baby.
That would be pretty nice. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's got double Dark Rituals over there too.
Oh no.
So yeah, so Ninju could potentially use all of his Dark Rituals
No.
here
The
on
ruler's
his own
immune.
dudes for
I
damage.
think rulers are immune to that. Aren't they?
I don't think so.
I thought
I think if it hits a hero, it can turn into Yeah, no, they can inflict insanity, and I don't see control loss immunity here on shadow attacks. I think it's just the base status resistance, which
whoa.
is
I'm
obviously a lot
misremembering
higher.
that. I thought you couldn't
Yeah.
be insane.
No, no, no. That's
No.
no. Remember, because Amikdara had a dragon that didn't take
Oh,
the
yeah.
celestial transformation
Yes.
on level 12, and Zombie used infectious insanity on it, and she used her breath weapon on all of her own dudes.
Oh, yeah, that was
Like,
pretty magical.
yeah, that was incredible. All right, yep.
There they go. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh, it's targeting units that are already insane. Ooh,
How
ooh,
inefficient.
yes.
Oh. Man. Well, at least the combat won't end before anybody does any damage, right? Oh no.
Yeah. Okay.
Just runs up and misses from point blank. Because it's
I mean,
really
at the
friendly.
very least, this is actually really good rolling for Ninju here. Like
They're grouped up at
has
least.
they're grouped up, but also a lot of the units that are insane are not breaking formation to attack units that aren't insane, but rather attacking each other.
Yeah.
And so like that's that is actually like normal behavior for insane units. So it's not like Ninju is getting really lucky, but he isn't getting unlucky.
Well,
And that's
he
important to know.
he did just lose 2 animists to insanity who have higher chances to inflict the insanity because it's a single action attack.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, no, I know what you're saying, but I'm also worried about where they're going next turn and who they're attacking.
I think the bigger issue here is where is his debuff clearing? How many more turns? 2 more turns on Fey Blessing, 1 more turn on Revitalize. So if zombie can't get the nymph to go insane next turn, then actually we could be right back in it. Because 1 Revitalize on that 6 stack right now would clear off a gigantic amount of insanity.
What happens if Ninja wins this? So what do we have to do for him?
I don't know, man. I don't know. If Ninja wins this, like I'm gonna buy him a beer. But I do think that Zombie should be proactively moving closer. Because like with all of these units that he's good that Ninja has just going insane.
Yeah, he needs
Ninja
to
can't
take
really present
advantage.
he needs to take advantage of it. Yeah, he's got all these battle mages that have massive AoE at a super long range. He doesn't need to be that close to Ninju in order to start doing damage to the units that have infectious insanity on them,
Well,
which
I
is
think
what
he's
he should be doing
he's
if he can't do damage elsewhere.
I know a big concern when I use infectious insanity is I don't want them to hit my own units and drive them insane. So he's probably just playing
Yeah,
safe and playing the morale game. He's trying to break
he's got so
Ninja's
much
real
range
world
though.
morale.
He has so much range. Like he does not need to be particularly close to any of these units in order to blast them with AoEs. But yeah, like I mean, if Zombie doesn't get the nymph, and the insane people all stay grouped up like this, then Ninju is going to offset all of this insanity with like 1 action.
Be pretty good. I think he's not out yet. He's got
Zombie
strategies.
needs to get his battle mages in there, whether he's afraid of insanity or not. Like he's wasting so much initiative here.
Well, I'm curious how much he's actually spending on the infectious insanity because if it literally doesn't cost him anything to
It's
sit
not that it's
back and
costing
just
him
do it.
anything. It's that if he isn't getting anything out of it other than transforming like permanent hit points into temporary hit points, then he's not actually getting anything of value out of it.
Yeah. And
So and
eventually these guys will build up their charges on their fury. Actually, yeah,
yeah,
that could be a problem for him.
he doesn't want these guys to just go up to 5 stacks and then pass back to Ninju, and then Ninju can use the Primal Mammoth right away. He needs to start clearing units.
It's fair. I don't know if zombies considered that yet.
But like a
I
bunch of
think
these
so.
units literally have 32 movement, so like they actually are outside of range to engage with any battle mage that's at AoE range. They just like they literally can't walk to the battle mage further than the battle mage can blast them. There's no risk, except the animists, but I don't think there's anything you can do about that.
These animists at least aren't mounted, right? They're athletic or anything like that.
Yeah, they're just regular, so they're also not particularly long distance.
Why did he take cold-blooded? I don't know,
I
man.
really like cold blooded. I think in skirmish mine in particular, you really need to be careful in regards to your morale. Less so now that we have the like everybody runs away all at once bug, like or game design feature out of the
Oh
game.
no.
Oh yeah, he's just if he doesn't keep the insanity spreading, then I don't think this is going to be actually as valuable a turn as he'd hoped.
Wait, did that unit not have a chance against Sane because it was insane? No, there it went. Okay, I was
Yeah,
gonna
they
say.
got it.
Hmm.
And now Revitalize will clear 4 of the 5 units that are insane. So yeah, he's right back in it. And I really do think it's just because Zombie didn't press the advantage there.
Yeah, he had really good rules, I think, for engagement. You gotta use them sometimes. Well, eventually.
I mean, maybe Zombie is hoping that this demonstration forces Ninju to choose to come down to him. But I don't know. I feel like if half of your opponent's army is not under their control and attacking their own units, then that's a perfect opportunity to drop in some tactical nukes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And he had some
With
really good AoEs. These guys are grouped up
yeah, he's got
nicely.
like 15,000 of them.
And
So
are
what do
these
you think
guys
we're going to see
immune?
off of Ninja once the Revitalize comes down?
I feel like at this point, the Revitalize, is that next turn? I haven't been looking.
No, it's up right
He's
now.
got it.
So
Oh.
like I'm kind of surprised that he isn't just slamming it.
It's a very good point.
Maybe he's got something else going on, but
He's got the pips. He's got the
he is in range. He should be
target
able
to
do
hit
it.
4? Or all of
Yeah,
them? Except for
the only
one.
one he's gonna miss is probably the protector, right?
It's either you miss the
that only has
protector
1
on
turn left.
purpose, or you miss the animist on purpose, and that seems silly because like he's still gonna have his stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you'd probably want to. Oh, God, I don't know actually. What would I do? What would I? Oh, I got cloud in a bottle. Hey, that's what you do here. You cloud in a bottle, and then you do it.
Yes, Cloud to push somebody like specifically. Oh my god, you're a tactical genius, Winsley. Like, is there a way to actually do that?
I mean,
To cloud
probably.
someone?
If can he
If
get
you
behind that
cloud from,
animist, then he can just maybe.
so he's got how much movement does he have here? He has 48 movement, so he should be able to go 5, 10, 15.
The thing about Cloud is
I think he
doesn't
might be able to
predict
get
it.
there. Yeah, it's not great at the UI for
One,
Cloud. It's just sort of like it's gonna be pushing these units and then like a hope that you don't end up in a worse position, Scrub.
Oh man, I think if he
But I
tried to
think you're
push
right,
him,
actually.
he might not be able to get to the right position to push him in where he needs to be. He'd need to push like all of
It's
his protectors and other units that are insane towards the other animist. Maybe.
it actually might not be that complicated. It might be correct to just put the winger like between the protectors like in that hex right there, because I think from that direction you might be able to cloud not just one unit but like 4 of them in a like general northwest direction towards that other animist, and then just kind of like push the box in, because if you can do 2 extra movements in that direction, then you can get everybody under the Revitalize. But I don't think he even needs to, right?
Gosh.
If he gets almost all of them, then that's probably good enough.
I kind of want to ask Ninju if, like what he's considering, just to see if he's seen that. I don't know if I want to tell him, but I want to know
don't
if
tell
he
him.
knows.
Don't tell him. Like
He
he's
has to
gonna
be,
have to
right?
find it on his own.
What's he
It
considering?
might not be what he's looking at. It might be not worth considering
Spells.
for him.
Yeah, he could be looking at his spells right now.
Yeah. But like actually genuinely in terms of what got hit with insanity there, it was almost entirely just low tier units. The
Yeah.
only things that went insane in that first two castings that were actually important were animists.
hmm
Um and the damage that was done was mostly cosmetic.
I don't know, Animus, as long as they're getting charged, I'm pretty happy with them doing whatever. Like,
Yeah.
I just want to get summons down with those guys because that's what they're there for.
Okay, so it looks like Winger is potentially looking at a cloud, but that cloud doesn't do any. Oh, no, he's just using his once per battle heal. That's tough. Any like once per battle abilities that zombie gets with the insanity turns are good value. So that means that even if all of this damage does get healed, he got something permanent.
Right, I see what you're saying here. Oh, he's gonna try and get the regen on that hero too, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna get everybody in for the revitalize.
Gosh, I
So
can't
is he
wait
gonna
for this
pass up on
Animist.
the animist? It looks like he might
Yeah.
be passing up on the
Yeah.
animist.
No, I was considering that too. Like you kind of don't want these frontline guys keep on hitting the other frontline guys
Yeah, the
because
triple
it's
attacks
annoying
over
how
and over
they
again.
just spread around.
Three attacks with 60% is a really high chance to spread infectious insanity.
These Animus have been taking really low percentage shots too, so yeah, if he misses, that's great. That's what we need.
Yeah. Yep. He doesn't have mass rejuvenation, so he can't get any extra healing there. But maybe he's putting the Phantasm Warrior there to just like try to draw infectious attention. Maybe that's what he's doing.
hmm Alchemy thing that clears. That's a spell, isn't it? Gosh, I love the shadow one that clears for and gives a boost. It's quite a nice clear.
Like the one on souls.
Yeah.
Yeah. Soul infusion or whatever it is.
It's almost doesn't feel right using it here
Overflow.
because it uses souls and there's no real souls.
I think that given that there's so much counterplay to undead, that if people want to use that together, that they should be able to. Like it, yes, there are no souls, and that means that that spell is a lot stronger. But like if you really push souls in Empire mode, then like you can get a ton of them.
It's also a tier 2 tome, and I don't know if I love
Yeah.
everything else in that tome, so
Hey guys.
hello.
So
Yo.
I wanted to talk to you real quick about how this has been going on. What do you guys think? Because okay, so he's just been hanging back and casting infectious insanity on me, right? And I think that's a pretty big mistake that he's making, honestly,
Yeah,
because
I
Yep.
agree.
I,
He's
he's thrown
you've
away
been
all of his
unable to do
CP, and
anything. Your army has been paralyzed for like 2 turns and he's just been watching.
yeah,
Why?
well, I mean, I've been undoing all of the health, and now you can see I've got all my units all bunched up. So next turn, whatever infectious insanity remains, I can cleanse with the nymph. I've positioned the nymph so that it's pretty far out of the way. It's going to be difficult for them to try to get it. It's got high status effects, so even if one of them does, it should still remain fine. I've got the white witches well out of the way, so they're probably not going to be valid targets. Like I've kind of
Hold up.
guaranteed that all of these guys are going to be really clustered up for whatever cleanse I got to do.
I thought
I've
you
made sure that.
I thought you used the cleanse last turn. No, you didn't. You're saving
No.
it.
He
Oh.
he just waited them out because a lot of those were on turn like 1 turn left on the timer. So I think he just decided to save the cleanse specifically, but
That doesn't seem
Also,
terrible actually seeing the damage right here. Yeah.
yeah.
I did the math. He didn't have enough CP to cast Infectious Insanity more than one more time, so I figured I'd just wait him out, let him finish blowing his load, and then I'd cleanse after that, instead of doing the cleanse and then seeing him cast it again and fuck
Well,
me over again, right?
well,
No spoilers. No
should I say
spoilers.
anything?
No.
No spoilers. No
No
spoilers.
spoilers.
No spoilers. Sorry,
he's got,
Ninju. Look again.
No, hold on. I counted this out before. You should have, I think, 125 CP total. And it costs 35 each.
I think you should read the text on some of his units.
Oh god, I feel bad because you just don't play. You don't know all the units. Look at some of the
Oh,
units you
because of
don't
the
see all the
Spellbreakers,
time.
he's got an additional 20.
Look at
And
Yeah,
then
okay,
also
whatever.
look at Soothers.
yeah. I think we can
Soothers.
say that, and then that you'll see it.
Yeah. Once
Soothers.
you read the text that's on some of his units, you'll realize that your math is not correct.
I'm
What do
sorry.
Soothers do?
They're really good, but people don't read. It's not just
Well,
you.
this is very forgivable because, like, how many
Spells
times
are
have you played
20%
against
cheaper to
Mystics?
cast. That includes CP?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay, hold
Yeah.
on.
Yeah,
How
zombies
does
made it
rounding work with
so
that?
it's like one casting point for some things. For
Yeah, between the
Wait, those
Spellbreaker
stack
casting
with
points
each
back.
other?
that
No,
and other
Soothers do not
things.
stack with each other.
There's
but
another thing
the-
that reduces it, right? It's not just Soothers. I
it's
forget.
Astral 1.
Right,
Astral 1
okay, so he
reduces
doesn't have
it,
that.
and that does reduce the casting point cost as well. And then I mean, like, he also has like a lot of extra casting points between the double Spellbreakers and then the powerful Evokers.
Okay, so he's actually got 5 casts, though he did just use Arcane Bond a couple times. What does that cost?
Well, like, I think the thing that you're missing though is that he has effectively infinity casting points because of a
Nah,
2E cast.
He's got
Well,
wait, can you
afforded infinite
Arcane cost?
times.
Yeah, it just
Oh,
comes
that's
back
on
every 3
cooldown.
turns.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
dumb. Okay.
Yeah, so he can
Should've
literally
done.
just keep doing
you
that.
do
Although I would
nothing,
agree
yeah.
he has been
Well,
very
that's-
aggressive
I
with
think
the
he's-
casting.
I'm not super worried about him
Yeah.
getting 20 combat casting points
Yeah.
every turns.
I think he has been not utilizing this downtime on your army particularly well, but it hasn't been costing him nearly as much as you'd been hoping.
I think if you're gonna do this, you don't cast Infectious Insanity as often. You can
think
waste
it's
people's actions
not
like that
wrong,
and
it's
try
just,
and get these, like you said, the once a turn or once a combat abilities. If he can get a hero of
Yeah, if any of
infected,
those that he
and
picks are like permanent.
I mean honestly, he could just cast right on it and hope that it just uses the insane inappropriately. Like, you know?
I mean, he did manage to hit the hero with the dark ritual, so we will see if that participates in combat and how.
Oh, I hadn't seen that actually. Yeah, the hero does have this insane
Yeah.
on it. This could be problematic.
I'm
Yeah.
not as worried about it. I put the hero there because I figured that he wasn't going to do as much damage as I was as concerned with, mostly because he's only got 1 AP attacks, right? So
Yeah.
he's not going to get the 3 times inflict chance. Whatever damage he does, as long as Zombie's standing back there, I can heal that up. He might get a kill, I don't know, but I'm not as concerned.
I was all like, this is going to be over fast. I need to build a build that can actually beat what Zombie has here. It doesn't look like I'm actually going to need to do that. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, this is gonna be a longer fight. Zombie is very, very cautious here. I think his play is an order of magnitude too conservative. But
Who
we'll
knows?
see, right? Scoreboard is, I think, the only thing that matters. So if Zombie just wins convincingly the way it looked like he was going to, that would be unsurprising. But he is not so far pressing any advantage.
I think if he's not getting
He tried to
underneath your
take control
skin.
of he's trying to take control of the Mistling. It didn't work. Get wrecked.
I think, yeah, like
Okay.
the main advantage of what he's doing here is that you will fluster people, causing them to make mistakes, and it doesn't seem like it's having the effect that he needs. Like you're, I think, seeing through it, it into like some pretty good paths to victory. This revitalize is very big. It's unfortunate that you used it earlier than when you did.
It was unfortunate, but like I'd be in a pretty similar situation anyway, since he's just casting it every turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Zombie wasn't doing anything else than like what resources Ninju used in the background actually didn't end up mattering.
Yeah, in the meantime,
Ninju was able to heal off most of the damage.
Now I have 2 more
Ninju,
casts
go
of
take your turn.
spiritual healing. Okay, fine. I mean, I'm still. Yeah, okay.
he's just sitting there, just like watching his units.
Oh yeah, he had
But
the
I do
pips.
think Yeah, he has the pips. It's his turn. But yeah, like that was a really good infectious and insanity continuation onto that hero. But unless zombie is actually able to get units here, which if he's not willing to get his battle mages into AoE range, I don't think he's going to. I don't know how impactful this casting is actually going to be.
Yeah. Maybe
Like
zombie knows something we don't.
there's so much healing here, right? He's got 3 units with access to Fey Blessing in addition to their natural heal. So like there's just an enormous amount of healing on Ninju's side.
No, I think the only thing that makes sense to me is zombie has seen infections insanity destroy people who use them like to like subvert
Yeah,
their enemy,
bounce
and he's
bounce
just
onto you.
being too terrified of that effect. And I think you're right. He needs to just take some like risks here and push the advantage, because if the enemy is as separated as they are because they can't afford to group, you've got targets. You've got easier targets
Yeah. I
and good
if
AoEs.
4 of your opponent's 15 units are wandering around their army like disrupting their own formation, then it's sort of like you're fighting like a 19 against 11 rather than a 15 against 15, at which point then just like attack, right?
Hmm.
You're way up on material. Use that time.
Yeah, I totally agree.
And then it also like poses some issues for zombie if Ninju starts just clicking defense mode on warding on his animists, because +3 status resistance is really good against infectious insanity.
well, he's got the ability to purge, but yeah, he has to move his units for it to do that.
Well, like he can purge, but then also as long as he's defending with those animists, if they don't need to be healing, then he's gonna just make it so that any attempt to further spread infectious insanity isn't gonna work. Right? If
Yeah.
you have to hit against a base 60% chance on spreading the insanity, if you get 3 extra status resistance there, plus just like 1 or 2 for having, a rank, then like it's not too difficult to make it so it's like 40% instead of 60, and that's a big difference.
It's true.
Endurance training is really good against zombies army.
Yeah, I love endurance
Yeah.
training. It's such a good one. It's tough when you get to those support skills, those like higher ones, because there's always a few good ones that you have to pick between. For me.
I need to make myself bring supports more in skirmish mode, because like I generally don't like them as much in like the base game, just because there's like an observable problem with the AI and auto resolve basically only using support abilities,
Hmm.
and making the heroes just like wander all over combat doing nonsense in the background. But like that's not a problem here, right?
Yeah,
You're using the units, and just like restore alone is a really powerful ability, and then everything else in that chain, there's a lot to love there if you're in control of it.
yeah, totally.
Yeah. I do want to do what we saw. I think on one of early Ninju's builds was like he brought, I think, Tome of Cycles, and then just like a bunch of abilities to give a refresher on the Druid of the Cycle.
Yeah,
Um, and then reset everything with the ability, and that looks really cool. I still haven't figured out like a method to test it where it's if it's viable or not. Maybe it would be like run a Druid of the Cycle and also a Nymph. But now we can do that with Menagerie without being forced to take fertility. So
yeah.
maybe that's something that we do.
It's pretty nice. I know what Ninja's saying, like don't take fertility ever, but like I don't know,
Right.
every once in a while I need the affinity to get to my vigor or something, and I have found
Yeah.
myself still considering it a little bit because I want the AoE dispel sometimes. Like Glades is great. You do want Glades more often than
I
not.
think there is also like a
Ooh.
good argument for a fairy over a nymph, is that you're tiny and therefore like 20% harder to hit with ranged attacks. And so if you don't think you're going to have, oh my god,
You saw that,
he
right?
froze his own insane dude so he couldn't spread it. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's
And
brilliant.
here, you know, if he's out here without any other pressure, then all of this damage is going to be shrugged off here yet again.
Oh, this is amazing. He did get frozen on both of his own insane units. I've never seen somebody do this, and I love this. This is so
Yeah,
funny.
perfect.
The only time you want to freeze your own units.
You can also use frozen to break off burning, but that's like how frequently are you going to be clearing burning in this game?
I don't even know if I count that as the same, because that's removing a burning. That's not applying a frozen.
Yeah.
Oh, it's too funny. All
Right. So is zombie
feudal
gonna just,
bid.
or is Ninja just gonna use the healing, spiritual healing on the animus themselves to stack up to 6?
I mean,
Because
I
he
would.
can do that and cover somebody with warding. He can do both of those.
Yeah.
Right. Use the higher HP animus to heal the weaker one, and then use the weaker one to defend.
See, this one's at 3 charges. This one's at 3 charges. I think I would just get them both 5 charges right here. May not be worth
You don't want
it.
to hold up any healing against what you're seeing off of zombie.
Where is zombie? Zombie's so far away. No, like he's at spells. And that
Yeah.
here, that guy could get a lot of damage on him from spells, but what spell
Ooh.
does that?
Yeah, he
What
just went
does he
straight on healing
have?
the Phantasm Warrior.
Yeah. I mean, like I was saying, I was
Alright.
a little concerned about his current HP, but I don't see what spell zombie has from where he is that can like do the damage to remove that piece.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna be, but right now I think probably what Ninja is trying to do is just avoid losing pieces, period.
Yeah.
Because if he just doesn't lose anything in this initial round of blasts from zombie, I think he did make out ahead, right?
It's gonna be turn
If
10
zombie
by the time
loses,
zombie takes damage. Like, what is
yeah.
this? It's amazing is what it is. It's exactly what it needs to be.
Yep.
Bannermen are good with warding, you said before, right?
Bannermen are good with warding. Their heal is way too slow. It's like I think a turn 4 cooldown or something like that.
Whoa,
Basically, you
yeah.
can only use it 1 turn per combat. But the other ability, bolstered
Cooldown
defense,
1?
is on a yeah, it's way too slow. But like the other ability that it has, the one that adds bolstered defense, you can use every other turn. And so you can get like a ton of stacks of bolstered resistance and bolstered defense.
Hey guys, how'd you feel about that turn?
Sources.
Impressive.
It's yeah, good. I mean, we need to see zombie do something here, because he's not pressuring you. Like you haven't really lost anything meaningful so far.
I want to know what casting points he's actually at, like if we've done our math correctly.
I mathed it out as 33 is what he has right now.
I mean, that seems like you've kind of just used all of his casting points and your guys are mostly fine. Like, I don't know if I would have healed the Phantasm Warrior, but, you know, yeah.
Well, so my spiritual healing comes back faster than his CP does. And both of my so the big thing that I would be wanting to save it for otherwise was doing it on the Animus, but since I'm going to be moving up to him now, hey, what the shit?
I thought he was frozen.
Yeah.
Wasn't he frozen?
No, that's how freeze works, isn't it?
Yeah, it removes at the beginning of your next turn.
Oh no! I didn't consider that! Oh no!
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Okay.
Well then, I take everything I was saying back. I thought the frozen looked really good.
That was really fun to see for science.
I thought that was looking really good. Oh, I'm sorry, Ninju. I
It should.
think you
I
should
thought the
still
tick
be able
would
to heal
happen like.
eventually, right? I don't know.
Hmm.
You still got a bit of heals on your guys because you've
It's
got a
because
bunch of supports. Oh,
yeah,
but they're insane.
like you lose 1 turn on everything, all
Mhm.
statuses at the end of your turn, and so like that's I guess why you
Mm.
lost the frozen effect.
That's so bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah, that's a bummer.
This wasn't that bad, but it does complicate things.
Yeah, if zombie can get a couple of units out of all of these CP, then that'll be really good for his morale.
I'm not worried about that. I'm more worried about how the hell am I going to engage him.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, you've seen all this like artillery that he's got. It's just
Mhm.
like you don't get in there ever. Well, you do if you summon in units, and if you had a druid, you could revitalize and just keep those units literally in the back.
Ninja, next at some point in the near future, I'm gonna try to do a Druid of the Cycles run again based off of your little Druid of the Cycles with all of the abilities. I think that's really cute. I think that's a
Mhm.
cool idea.
Yeah, Akashar a little while ago played against me, and he did Druid of the Cycle alongside a bunch of conversion effects. So he just converted my units and then
And
immediately
then just
exploded them.
blew them up. Yep.
Yeah, that was really frustrating. I lost that one bad.
I can imagine.
uh, Anyways, I will return to the thing.
That may or may not have been my build I was planning to use against him.
Good. I think it's a cool build. I think it's a really interesting one.
We talked about it. We were like, Druid of the Cycle, steal unit, blow up,
Yeah,
and then nobody
blow
used
it
it
up.
in our skirmish. I was like, well, I got to. If no one else is going
Someone
to.
should. I think it's worth. I think it's worth going for. And you don't even have to use Lightbringers. You can use a nymph. That's okay. You
Yeah.
can use a nymph. Or you could be the like super cheaty face fancy boy. There's I think it still works in multiplayer, but like I want to see it. It if you choose a specific racial form and a culture, then you in single player get access to like a special pool of heroes with fixed abilities.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them is like if you play barbarians, and I think it's like if you play toad barbarians or like dwarf barbarians. It's one of the weird ones. And then then you'll guarantee get a seduce hero like every
Nice.
single time in single player as one of your 2 options. I haven't tested that in multiplayer cuz like, I think I don't know if that should be part of the game or not. But in skirmish mod, it might be fun, right?
Well, there's
Then
the
you only waste an hour and a half of people's time rather than 14 hours.
there's that like recruit ruler event, and I definitely took all of my guys out so that the only time that happens is with a dragon, because I wanted a second dragon. I wanted to see what how often that was to how likely that was to spawn, and I tested it for like a whole afternoon, and I just wouldn't trigger. But
Yeah.
that doesn't work in multiplayer. I've never had that event trigger in a multiplayer. So I
Well,
think there
maybe
are
I'll
things
I'll
that are
try to
different.
find that list again and see if it works in skirmish next time.
Hmm.
Because there's like this list of like 7 or 8 different combinations of racial form and culture type that give you guaranteed like 100% hits on specific skills for heroes. And so, most of them aren't that good, but there's one that gives you 2 abilities. Like it gives you the steadfast ability and I think extra damage to like tier 1 units or something like that.
Oh wow.
So that would be really powerful in skirmish. And then there's another one that gets you a guaranteed seduce. And then there's another one that gives you a guaranteed like casting points option.
Yeah, that sounds kind of nice.
That if you can find that, that could be an idea for a video.
It's yeah, I've got a few ideas that I had in the back that I was thinking about. But this last video, it's got me discouraged. I only got like 300 views on it because I think we're just like at a point where until there's news, there's only going to be so many eyeballs on Age of Wonders.
Yeah. Yeah, that like my general high build guide according to the like the analytics side is the like number 1 thing when you search Age of Wonders for industrious build guide on YouTube, and it has like 3,000 views total.
Nice.
That like that that is crazy,
Yeah,
right?
when you think about that, yeah.
Like
That's not a
if it
lot at
were,
all.
that's not a lot. That is really low for something that the algorithm says is the best in class for that specific, and that's not even like that specific a search term, right?
Yeah.
Like Age of Wonders for Industrious Build Guide is something that you can have a generic person type into a search function, and it's just like, I don't know, man. I don't know. The game deserves a lot more attention than this.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I'm gonna try sticking with my weekly edited videos, but it's very discouraging when it only gets 340 views. And what happened with it was it did that stupid thing it does with impressions, where it's like, we're not gonna put this in front of anyone until it's the worst time to, and then we're gonna kill your click-through rate and just like skyrocket the impressions when everybody's asleep. Okay,
Yeah. I
cool.
wouldn't worry too much about how, like, sometimes you just get randomly completely screwed by YouTube. Like the out trying to juice the algorithm, I don't think is worth your time because it will drive you insane.
It's just like what I feel like is happening. What I think I'm seeing with my videos is it's like, we expect you to get about 300 views. So if you don't reach it, we're gonna throw your video in front of as many people as possible until you hit the 300 mark. And once you cross 1,000, we're gonna kind of do the opposite. We're gonna stop showing it to people. We just like, that's
Yeah.
your number. That's what you deserve, and it's pretty annoying. And my only
Yeah.
real way I feel like I can beat that expectation is with new news. That's the only way I really get over 2,000 anymore, is when I report on something a little bit new, or before everyone else.
I mean, I feel like some of the videos I feel like definitely still have legs and are evergreen, right? Like I
Hmm.
don't know how many views per like 48 hours you're still getting on the EXP video, but like that video deserves 25,000 views minimum. Like and it's one of those things that will just like, it should if people understand the way experience points work and how impactful they are, like keep attracting people. But I mean, part of the problem also is that like the level of play is so different in Age of Wonders 4. Like there are a lot of casual players, and their understanding, the specific
Oh,
mechanics is a
he's
lot less
moving.
important. Oh,
Oh, he's moving.
ooh,
I was gonna say,
he
I
is.
actually, I am pretty surprised and happy to see that this XP video is at 4.3K, and it got 10
I
views
mean,
in
you
the
should be
past
really
48
proud of that, dude.
hours. So yeah,
That
that's actually pretty
Yeah.
cool to see that it's still getting a little bit of attention. I thought it was gonna be like 2 views in the past 48 hours if I was lucky, because that's like pretty typical for my stuff. Um,
Yeah.
but no, that's nice. That's nice to see.
Yeah, like I feel like that and the like being able to clear ancient wonders are videos that basically anyone who wants to be able to understand Age of Wonders 4 needs to watch. But
Yeah,
then the problem becomes like, how many people really want to understand the game versus just play it and have fun, right?
like 1%
And
or less,
I don't
way
know. I
less.
don't know. I really don't know.
Oh,
And
cat.
it's an impossible thing for me to answer for somebody else.
Yeah. No, I like I said, I want to keep doing these because I enjoy them, and I know people like, there are people who watch them and like the videos pretty consistently. It's probably part of some people's routine. So I want to keep going for a while. But like, at a certain point, if I get 300 views for like 4 videos in a row,
Yeah,
I
it's
might
time to
need to
start moving.
do them less often, like once a month or something. And that's, what's the worst part about that? That's what I did with Planet Fall. I got so discouraged because I was getting no views. And then Potato McWhiskey went and rated me with 400 viewers one day and was like, look at this guy's channel. He's like really good at Age of Wonders. He makes all these videos. Oh, this is just multiplayer? He's only been multiplayer for 2 months? Let's just go see what he's doing. Oh, he's doing multiplayer?
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't what the general YouTube audience would want. They'd want more like edited, content, and you know,
Yeah.
I was in the
Yeah.
middle of a thing, so I don't know if I noticed immediately or if I was distracted by the fact of, okay, I need to take my turn. Sorry, I'm being quiet right now. I actually have like 5 people that always wait on me that are kind of like, let's go.
Yeah, it's tough. Have you heard from McWhiskey like recently? Is he still thinking about doing more Age of Wonders 4 stuff?
I haven't heard from him in a long time. I did reach out to him for advice on Dune Spice Wars things when I was like doing the
Yeah.
sponsored content. I asked him some questions and he was very good and got back to me super quickly. But like we don't talk that much. He likes
Yeah.
some of my things every once in a while on Twitter. Usually it's like, if it's like a particularly interesting Age of Wonders post, he'll retweet that.
I feel like the thing is that I was watching a conversation between Jordy and some other people in Discord the other day about like the numbers that the game is actually posting. And
Hmm.
part of the issue is that they weren't actually expecting nearly as high of a concurrent player base at game release. Like they were expecting a lot lower.
Hmm.
And so a lot of the retention issues, or air quotes retention issues that exist in a bunch of hand wringing circles on Reddit are kind of nonsense, because like the long term goal they were looking for was total number of concurrent players once the hype wore off. But like it does feel like there need to be more people searching this on YouTube, right? There need
Yeah.
to be more eyes and more attention being paid to the game. Because like more or less, it's still just like the same 15 videos that are at the top when you just search Age of Wonders 4, and it's like the videos that have been there since the game release and are just there with good fun introduction to the game, but not a lot of mechanical knowledge because people were playing the game with 12 hours under their belt. And it's unfortunate that that's the only thing that shows up over and over and over again, because it means that like the nuance that everyone, or the people who've stuck with the game, have learned over the last year is just getting buried.
Yeah. No, I see what
And
you mean.
I don't know how to fix that. Like I you don't normally see that on a lot of different games. Like usually there's something new that has filtered to the top and has a lot of views, but like it's just like the same old videos over and over and over again.
It's a very unique situation for sure. Age of Wonders has always been a very unique game. My
All
god,
right,
my
what
cat
is
is
what is Ninja
flipping
gonna do here?
out. My
What's he got?
cat.
What's he got?
He's got like
He's got one, two, three,
everything is insane.
4 units that are insane. It looks like the
I
hero successfully did not use Dark Ritual,
I
so he hasn't wasted that.
I think Zombie still wins from this position. They're so spread out. These guys are so
Yeah,
spread out. There's no way they can engage effectively.
exactly. Yeah, he's got some serious issues in terms of being down control, right?
Yeah. And
Yeah,
let's
both of his
see.
white witches are insane right now.
Well, he can't freeze his own units, unfortunately. Oh wait.
Oh, he most certainly can. If he triggers the insanity, he'll still waste one of the turns of insanity, but that's okay, right? If you freeze one of your own units and give it insane for the next turn, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
So
All right, so
efficient.
we got 1, 2, 3 artillery pieces that are at the front line, and then a lot of stuff right behind.
Yeah,
Now,
they're
fortunately, right
just
now,
out.
there's not a lot of damage on these units, right? If you click on the Astral Wisp and you see what your Firebomb can do, not a lot so far. But if he can stack up a bunch of Firebombs, then like the bleeding and the burn will actually start to take over.
Right, because they
And
don't check resistance, I think. They
uh
just do the
so
thing,
the
no?
the damage
Oh.
is like it checks against specific resistances, right? So burning checks against fire resistance specifically, and Ninju does have a little bit of that because of the Tome of Warding.
Is he
But
really gonna cloud all these guys? He
he's gonna try.
is.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I love it. It's time to get some Frozens. I think he's gonna summon in, and I hope he remembers how the AoE works. Yeah, that's the spot I would do.
He's gonna have some serious problems with freezing though, because a lot of those are under only 2. They're all under
I got
warding
2
from the
frozen.
Soother.
I
2
mean,
frozen
if
is
you take
good.
enough dice rolls, you don't need super high percentages.
Yeah. But now that Glacial Mammoth should be deleted and like what, 1 Arcanist plus anything can kill that.
Oh man.
So this is the turn. Ninju has decided that he's gotta take the fight or just die trying, right?
I mean,
Where is this Mistling gonna go? I think the bigger problem for Ninju here is that if he doesn't do something, there's a spell shield heal here with an AoE stun.
Yeah. Wait, the stun? Spell shield does a
Yeah, spell
stun?
shields have an AoE stun,
I see.
stunning flash.
Oh, I was looking at Spellbreaker. You're
Yeah,
talking
a
about.
lot of the mystics have spell in the name.
It's a little
Of spell
complicated.
spells.
I see him now. Yeah. That's a pretty good stun. I don't see it too
60%
often.
isn't like high enough to reliably work on high tier units, but it's enough that any low tier units are generally going to fall under it if you get an AoE clump. I want to see somebody play mystics with unicorn mounts here.
Oh yeah.
Mystic unicorn mount spell shields are pretty disgusting.
I haven't seen unicorns in quite some time. I think people just kind of feel like they're a bit much at times.
They're a lot worse these days because of the phasing rework. I would say that now they're probably only like the mid tier on mounts, honestly, even in manuals. Like they're like, compare the power of a unicorn mount where you can't move first versus the power of just like an elephant, right?
Yeah. I just know I've seen people just teleport around into silly things with those things, like with their heroes.
Yeah.
Basically, it's not too bad. I think on a lot of the units, but on heroes, it's just absurd.
On heroes, it's useful if you have other sources of blink, so that way you can just like chain together, one action into one action into one action.
Hmm.
But like the phase rework and the teleportation rework did a really good job to rebalance those in ways that I think were exclusively healthy.
Oh, wow, this guy does do a bit of damage when he does attack. Assuming he does, but I assume he does. Like, you're there, you may
Winger
as well
is the
attack.
smallest hero. Look at that pony.
Yeah, it's
That's
adorable.
so cute. That's so cute.
He had to make a fun design. It couldn't just be a fun build.
Yeah.
Why don't we see more ponies?
Yeah, they're too OP.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, so is Ninju gonna get anything here on this turn, or is he just gonna reposition some units and then get them blasted by battle mages?
I think that one.
Yeah, it might be.
He needs to dark ritual a single unit into a zombie this turn. It's his only hope. I mean, actually, maybe. Because if he does, then
I think
he's next to the Spellbreaker at least. They have to spend the actions killing the zombie.
I think this is another case where like if he had played a different primal, I think he might have a higher win percentage here. Because
Yeah.
the Primal Mammoth just doesn't do any damage, and then like that stun is not nearly as impactful. Like if you were playing, I still don't really like Mire Crocodiles because of their problems with like just face planting against specific builds.
Yeah.
But
They
like
get countered.
he would have killed one of these Arcanists with one cast of a croc, like
Uh-huh.
no doubt, right? If he just cast it behind flank for 3 times, Arcanist deleted, and that's a lot more impactful than freezing a unit that doesn't really matter
Yeah.
and doing effectively 0 damage.
No, I think, yeah, if you can get on the edge where they can't effectively engage and it just allows you to then come back in and do some damage, they have such good mobility.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
agree. I was when I first saw the Mammoth, I was like, amazing. I'm gonna play this all the time. And then I played it and I did not enjoy the damage output. It's nice.
A
The AoE is
50%
pretty good.
frozen is also really like it's 50% plus blizzard gets you a little bit further, but it's still really low. Like,
Yeah.
can snow spirits freeze things before they evolve? Yes, technically, but only technically. And I kind of feel like mammoths are only a little bit higher than that. There's a big difference between base 50 and base 60.
Yeah. No, you can do things like you opened my eyes to some of the status
Yeah,
resistance things you can
there's
do.
way to shred. Yeah. And that gives them real openings here. Like this could be another fight where if Ninju just had, oh man, what did he take as his tier 3 tome here? What did he take as his tier 3 tome here?
There's no tier 4 unit, so good question. What if he just took some tier 2 tomes and
Oh my god, if he just took an extra tier 2 tome, then that would explain a lot.
I'm not
There's such a
seeing
giant
anything.
difference between tier 2 and tier 3 tomes that you should not do that. But okay, so we see
Is it
warding, cryomancy. Oh no, I see astral blood. So he is playing with amplification.
okay? Wait.
Yeah.
Oh no, he hasn't been able to amplify. Oh no.
He hasn't done any amplification. He hasn't cast, has he really cast like anything all game?
It's been a
I don't
rough
think he's cast
matchup.
like anything all game, really.
He's just gonna have to try more for his tryhardiness.
But I will say I think amplification in this format not very impressive. I I
Yeah.
uh I think also part of that is just like amplification as a tier 3 tome is a lot more balanced than it was as a tier 2, but like I just don't find myself playing with it almost ever outside of like high using long range pieces.
I think I had some luck with it passing Misfortune from unit to unit because Misfortune is quite a nice status effect to just put
Yeah,
on a
that's
couple
a really good
units.
one.
It just the reduced damage output combined with, hey, maybe you're gonna remove a model and or a unit by accident is something.
Yeah, yeah. Misfortune is also like one of it's rare in terms of its effects. There are very few things that give you that. And then you know, if your opponent is tryharding and like stacking fortune buffs into outer space, there's almost nothing that gives you good counters there other than either misfortune or spellbreakers.
Yeah.
Speaking of, we're gonna see some star purges. Although, you know, Ninju did not get the opportunity to like stack 15 buffs onto these things before they get purged.
No, he just got insane.
No, he just got insane. He just got insane over and over again.
Oh, he fumbled. No.
I wish I could see the battle log there, but I can't imagine he had particularly high accuracy there because he was shooting over obstacles. Ooh, if you can pick off that spellbreaker though, because he does have amplification, so like that does a lot of damage to a unit that's already wet.
Did he
Right, chain lightning is
forget to
pretty scary.
overchannel? Was he gonna try to overchannel here? I'm so
I don't
confused.
know.
Because that unit needs to not die now. That hero has to live.
Yeah, he needs to keep his ruler alive, and he needs to kill the spellbreaker, and that's two really big needs. Given that I don't,
Gosh.
even if zombie had like a bunch of physical attackers and stuff, there's only one stack of Clanging Mists on Ninju's ruler right now, and unfortunately for Ninju, almost all of zombie's attacks ignore accuracy anyway.
I think I would
So
over-channeled here. I'm looking
yeah,
at
I think you're
this,
right.
and I think you over-channel and you go by the Arcanist that is next to the hero, and you just try and freeze the hero and maybe 3 units. Just to pull actions away from your front line
Yeah,
where you have vulnerable pieces. I think you just kind of have to. I bet he
maybe he
forgot to
doesn't have enough casting
over-channel.
points somehow. Like, has he been forced to cast any sort of healing spells that we missed?
I was building a build for a minute, so I don't think so, but I
I don't
probably
think
missed it.
he has. I don't know. But yeah, if he has casting points, then I agree. He should have used Overchannel, because I think the chances that that ruler is alive next turn are basically 0.
I mean, yeah, if you don't get the spark next to some of those guys, yeah.
I don't see how it's gonna survive. There's just way too much damage on zombie side.
Trying to
Especially
look at
considering
the
that, he attacked with that unit, so he's not gonna be in defense mode. It's
True.
just like, yeah.
The path is a little blocked there. Do it. Attack. Don't be a coward. Just take the damage. You'll be fine. It's gonna get insane anyways.
It's unclear exactly what this ancestral warden can do here, honestly. Like, where is it supposed to go?
I mean,
Can it even get into range for those arcanists if it walks around the long way and then jump?
yeah, I mean
I
that's
kind of doubt it.
I think. Where did it start again? Over here?
It started next to the hero, so it's got 32 movement, which is, one
Yeah, I
of the
think it,
reasons you can argue for athletics here, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you've got a jump for 3, so 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think he could have jumped onto that Arcanist just barely.
probably wouldn't have been worth it though. You're getting very close to that serpent and some other guys. Or are you talking about
Yeah,
the
if he does
Arcanist
that.
in the back? No, there's no
Oh, the
way.
Arcanist on the other side, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, I see what you're saying.
Like,
I think that's where I would have
that's
summoned, and I would have had this guy jump. Probably on this crow, or just try and take out the crow, because you need to get into the middle eventually. I don't know, man.
I think actually you're right. I think the Mammoth trying to hit that Arcanist in that corner makes more sense, because then he would have been attacking fewer units that were under defense mode warding,
Mhm.
and therefore like much higher freeze
Guys.
chances on those guys.
I got a question for you. So if you look
Yo.
at my Ancestral Warden, it's got a Clinging Mist at 3 times, but it says that it expires in 1 turn. But it started the turn in a Mistex. I'm pretty sure I had it end last turn in a Mistex. What's going on there?
It probably
That-
didn't trigger, like,
Yeah, that could be the bug.
it's
And then it goes away at the end of my turn, right?
Unless it gets refreshed by standing on another Mistex, which it might get.
I think I've been doing it like that. Bug must be really common though, because I've noticed that on a number of these where I'm pretty sure I had these units like in Mistexes previously.
Yeah.
Because I don't think this Ancestral Warden has spent any turns outside of a Mistex so far.
It's a secret
that is
nerf.
certainly
It's
possible.
a secret mist nerf. It's so good they were like, let's put this bug in there.
Make it so it only works 90% of the time and don't tell anybody.
Yeah, yeah. I feel real bad. That's dumb. I don't know how you went from here, Ninju.
Well, it would be awesome if this Clinging Mist wasn't about to expire on my Ancestral Warden, because it's impossible for him to hit me with it. But once I lose it, he's just gonna obliterate me.
Yeah, is there a mist around here
you
you
auto
can
hits. I
sit
think he was
on?
gonna
No,
be able
no,
to
no,
kill that warden either way.
I've already moved the Warden. I can't move him out. I don't think with a 5% chance to hit that he was going to kill the Warden.
Yeah, he wasn't gonna be taking 5%. He was gonna be taking hundreds.
Oh, you mean from like firebombs and shit? Well, that doesn't do very
Yeah.
much damage to him.
If he stacks
8 damage
enough
each.
stacks of dots, he's gonna kill those things in pretty quick succession.
Yeah, and you don't have
I'm not
too many
worried about him
dispels.
killing them over several turns. I'm worried about him killing it this turn.
Yeah.
That's the thing that's a big deal to me. And he's going to be able to do that if the Clinging Mists expire, which I guess they're going to.
So you don't see an undo button. You're just telling me that this guy's kind of stuck where he
No,
is.
no. I moved this guy before and then moved other
Ah,
units,
yeah.
and now I'm realizing, oh, his Clinging
Yeah.
Mists are about to go away because the game's stupid.
I'm sorry.
Yep.
Well, there's no
If it
guarantee
makes
where
you
it
feel
says
any
there are
better,
mists.
you
You
were
could
gonna
even
have
sit
0
there.
stacks of Clinging Mist then like next turn anyway, because you could just star purge it and then you lose all of your stacks anyway.
Oh, true.
So like,
That
although
probably
you
was
did
gonna
kind of
happen.
get hosed, it only a little bit because he was going to be able to remove all of those mists whenever he wanted to.
Yeah,
No, that's true. I didn't
he's-
really think about that.
you're probably
Yeah,
about to get
he
star
he
purged
hard
pretty
countered
hard.
you insanely badly.
Hmm.
That's how it goes.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think if the frozen had worked the way you thought it worked and the way I was expecting it to, I think you could have pulled it around. Like this has
Yeah,
been really
Zombie
interesting to
punted pretty hard in
watch.
terms of like not doing anything the first couple of turns, but his build was just very well lined up against yours.
I also think the insanities were a bit generous to him. I've used it before and it just been like
Ninju
regretted.
or to Zombie?
Yeah, I think
So,
Zombie
like,
got some good results out of his infectious insanities
Nah,
in general.
in Skirmish, you always get really good results on an Insanity, just because you get to cast it on tier 1 units. If you're playing Infectious Insanity in like a normal game of Age of Wonders 4, you're going to be casting it on tier 3 units generally because, you know, it's on a tier 2 tome. A lot of people will take tier 3 units off of that. And then the base 3 status resistance makes Infectious Insanity just like a lot worse. But here, because you know, most of the units you're going to be casting it on are tier 1s and tier 2s, Infectious Insanity is just going to do a lot more. It's going to infect things way more consistently. So
I know what you mean.
Because it didn't hit any of the really big AoE things. Like he didn't hit a hero who then used a dark ritual or you know, like force the nymph to waste a seduction or waste a revitalize or something like that. I think Zombie got about like the extreme bog standard average outcome of a bunch of infectious insanity rolls.
It
He
triggered
didn't
on a
get
fair
unlucky, but
number
he
of
didn't get anything
units.
big. They did, but they were all like low quality units that didn't accomplish anything other than wasting turns against each other. And because Zombie wasn't like pressing the advantage and attacking, it didn't accomplish as much in terms of just like wasting each other's resources. And I guess it prevented Ninju from being able to build up a bunch of summoning stacks on his Animus, but like I think Zombie didn't use that time particularly well.
Yeah.
But it didn't really hurt him. And then like because it was all low tier units, like you should expect a bunch of those to actually hit. Yep, deleted.
Two units. Seems about right.
That's fine. I mean, I did a spell cast to disable 2 units and then also, like, make 2 units waste this turn. That's a very good spell cast.
And I don't know if I should say it. Yeah.
Oh, sure. Well, hold
should I
on.
say it,
What did he,
Walker?
what was it that he
I don't
used to
know.
cleanse
I
with?
mean,
A hero?
like,
Yeah, okay. I'm still okay with that.
I think conversation about evaluation is different from like spoilers. Like I personally think that here something like Mire Crocodile or Spirit Wolf would have been better because like deleting a unit is generally more useful than just freezing some.
I don't think I would have been able to delete a unit, because he's got really high resistance in general, right?
I
What would I
think
have
a
done?
Mire
Deleted
Crocodile
an Arcanist?
could have easily one-handed a an Arcanist here, and then also been standing next to another one. I think we probably, Winslow, if you were asking about positioning, like, I think we probably shouldn't talk about that until after, but
Yeah, I think
like, this is an interesting fight because I think this is a good opportunity to discuss different primal strengths together.
I expect Zombie to do something this turn, which will make it okay for me to bring up the point I want to bring up. But if he doesn't, then
Yeah,
I'll just wait a
probably.
little bit and I'll ask Ninju about it later. But there was
Yeah.
something
Only
that
has
I
the
felt
one
like I would have done
cleanse, right?
differently.
He only
What-
has the one cleanse, right? I ate his leader's turn.
I forget exactly which tomes he took, but he might have one in there.
Why did he bring
I
poison darts on this hero? Or on this leader?
maybe he wanted like a little elemental insurance. Oh, it's probably because this is just a really slow hero. Because he is playing with a 24
Yeah, but he's
movement
already
heavy
got.
armor Greaves.
But
So
he's already
like,
got Frost Blast.
I'm gonna
yeah,
say,
but if you're a really really slow unit, right? Like Lucer the Commander, he's gonna have like extra accuracy here, isn't he?
No. They're the
I'm
same
a little
attack.
No, that's
confused
not
by
magic.
that.
That's not
Yeah,
magic.
They're the same
maybe
attack, dude.
Yeah, magic
maybe
missile is actually auto hit, but that one's not. I don't know.
maybe it has to do with the nymph, because nymphs, like I mentioned earlier, are weak to the blight. But I don't think
They
that's
are weak
actually
to blight.
worth it, though. Like,
That doesn't matter. That
no,
wouldn't be a big
Yeah.
deal.
no,
Yeah, I agree. I don't know what he's doing there.
it was a troll pick.
Magic missile at least automatically hits, and so that I think has a good space. But poison darts is questionable.
We'll have to ask him when we get a chance here. We'll hop in and be like, "Why did you pick that?" You have to explain to us.
Then Zombie will explain that like it's been mathematically proven that this is the strongest miscellaneous item because of the way that it interacts with the meta and in blah 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 blah.
Exactly. I don't get it. He's got a it's a tier 1 staff, I guess. And okay, why?
I mean, I actually think the tier 1 staff makes a lot of sense, given that you do get access to the defense mode warding for everybody, and you only played with one soother, so like you need extra magical resistance there. But like the poison wand, I don't understand. I have no idea what he's doing there. Maybe it's
Alright.
like just in case he runs into something that is like frost resistant, right? And maybe it's not in case he's fighting against a nymph, but in case there's a snow spirit. Because their frost blast does literal nothing, right?
Yeah, and
Against
every
base
one of
6
his
cold resistance.
he's got the warding thing, right? That's what I'm seeing here. Magical wards does give you a little bit of frost resistance.
Yeah.
So you would get probably more damage out of the other, but I just don't see it being better than another miscellaneous. Like even the crit chance one I feel like would be better, but that's maybe not the case.
Alright, I'm heading out of this channel now.
I was gonna say
I
something
don't
about the
understand that
hero.
one, but
The
I
the
think
hero is
this
still
is
alive.
okay. Yeah, it doesn't look like Zombie is gonna go for trying to kill anybody this turn. He's just trying to, other than the Mistling, looks like he's just managing the front, which that's not gonna. I mean, I guess that's okay, but like this is why he wanted to start using those Battle Mage abilities earlier. If he
Yeah.
was engaging these units and they had 20% less HP, this would be a lot easier.
Why did he put that crow there before using his AoE? I'd be so, what are you doing?
Maybe he's sending the AoEs elsewhere and like just ignoring the Ancestral Warden.
No, he's saving his AoE. That's insane. What are you doing?
Oh,
What are you
I don't
doing?
know about that. Yeah,
Why? Why would you do it that
because
way?
these are really low accuracy attacks. He should. I that was a Not as impactful a turn as he could have had, I think.
Yeah, you throw down the AoE, you bring the unit forward then, and then it's fine
Yeah.
there. Nice targeting
Especially because the
friendlies.
Revitalize is like still on cooldown this turn for Ninju. I
Yeah.
think Zombie should have wanted to get as many stacks of damage over time down on as many units as possible last turn just to get that damage locked in.
Yeah, now I don't know. I don't think Ninja can recover from this, but he's giving him opportunities for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. He's trying Zombie's trying real hard to keep this interesting.
Oh, I just looked down in this corner. It's like this cluster, and I'm like, we need some AoEs here. Where are the AoEs?
Yeah, like one battle mage hero, or again,
Oh.
a dragon. one a dragon would make Ninju's battle very, very different, right?
I think it's time to summon in a mammoth. He's got his support that can do that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He
I think
has
you're
to
right.
do that, and he
He
has
has
to hit
to,
with these
and he has to
spell
get
breakers, I
lucky.
think.
But if he can move a unit through, like a new mammoth through to be adjacent to both of those spell breakers for an AoE, then that's not nothing.
It won't be an AoE. It'll be because it's full action. I mean, he can
Oh, it's a full
he
action.
can
You're right.
summon there, but then it's not a charge
Oh, yeah, that's not
opportunity.
a
He'd
charge
have to charge
opportunity.
into, I don't know, maybe this serpent or something. Is the serpent already in its thing? Yeah, it's already refuged. So he kind of needs to charge into that space, I think, and then AoE from maybe behind the soother. You could hit a few units there.
You think that he's gonna go for those weak battle mages again, like there's like a giant clump of really high damage pieces
Yeah.
that need to. I think that's the most important thing, whether or not
Well,
the Animus get to summon this turn. If he can disrupt those 4 low tier battle mages back there,
mhm.
it's a lot of damage that he removes from zombies' clutches.
No, I think I would summon and charge into that space and then just go for a big AoE.
Yeah.
I think I go for the one that hits 6 units instead of keeping that unit like safe. I just go for potentially getting some freezes because any freezes you get here are very valuable.
Man, it's such a bummer that the Ancestral Warden doesn't have a 5 stack on it, because that does apply to the Primal Lunge, doesn't it? If you have
Yes, it
a 5
does.
stack, then
I'm
you can
pretty,
lunge
yeah.
and with a freeze, and that would be pretty sick.
You almost never see it, but yes, that does work like that. I mean, theoretically, both of his guys have the ability to heal and do that, but that'd be so inefficient. It'd drive me crazy.
Yeah, do you really want to spend 3 actions to make one unit do an AoE that has like a 40% chance of freezing 3 units?
No.
It's no.
You know what? He does need to use these freezing blasts, I think, though. That one that he has access to.
I want to see where this seduce goes on the nymph and how it gets used.
Can he seduce the astral serpent? Because that would be
I don't think
something.
so. I think you can't target it when it's invulnerable in the refuge state, like with anything.
Whoa. Did you know if you click on the astral serpent and you go to his damage channels, it says the damage channel IMM for immune?
Yeah, yeah. That shows up in the database also occasionally. Like just weird displays, immune.
Oh, is he gonna do it? He has to do the over channel soon.
I mean, maybe he just takes a Wizard King and then just doesn't use Overchannel the entire combat. That would be a different way to play for sure.
I kind of want to get Zombie to ask him about the poison dart thing.
Yeah.
All right, I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Howdy.
Hello.
What's going on?
I wanted to ask Zombie about something. Zombie, can you join us in the other thing?
Okay.
All right.
What?
So you chose an item that neither me or Walker can make much sense of. The poison darts. Why?
Oh, because I need backup damage from my hero, because I have heavy armor greaves and have only 3 hex movement. That's why I need
So
some
do you
backup
just have it
damage
for like
if my
different
frost,
coverage? If
yeah,
the frost doesn't work?
if frost blast not suitable.
Yeah, that makes sense. Just an alternate damage option
Yep.
against something like a primal mammoth, right? A little bit,
Yes,
a
yes,
little
yes.
bit better.
I just thought it was
Oh.
strange because it was same range, about the
Oh
same
my god.
damage.
I take wrong stuff. I want electric one, but take frost.
Oh no.
my
Oh,
mistake.
you meant to bring the
Yes,
the
yes,
lightning staff?
yes.
Whoops.
They similar, and
Yeah,
I take
the
wrong
blue.
one.
Yeah.
Now that you mention it, yeah, why are you frustrated? That's not right.
I don't know.
I mean, does
So
it
how are you
matter
feeling
against?
so far, Zombie?
Yeah, it does kind of a little.
I think I win this.
You think you win this?
Yeah, why not?
You think you're gonna do this in style? Are you gonna be able to keep this spellbreaker alive, or you think that he's gonna pick it?
I don't know. We can see it.
I think I agree. I think that you had a really good lineup here, Zombie, in terms of like the tools that you brought versus the tools that Ninja brought. Like you just have a bunch of things that ignore accuracy, and against mists, that's pretty good.
Yep.
Interesting.
My
He
dice.
did a thing that I wouldn't have done.
Mm?
I'm just
Okay.
seeing what Ninja's doing with his turn now. Interesting,
Mhm.
interesting.
Yeah,
He
he
summoned
has
that with a
some
spell.
strange moves. Very strange move.
Well, that was also an interesting decision.
So,
Yeah.
Zombie, in like the first couple of turns where you were casting Infectious Insanity and just kind of like sitting back, were you doing that because you were afraid that his insane units would attack yours?
Yeah, it's only good when you cast it on big range, and I know that I have plenty of casting points, and I need him to came to me and not sitting back and receive all these buffs. That's why I cast this, because yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's just fun.
I was just kind of surprised because you had so many battle mages that I felt like you could have been able to just firebomb at range, even with his units going insane. But maybe you were just like afraid of the potential of them coming to you. But like a
Yeah,
lot of his units were
insane
only
on
30 movement.
your units. It's not good at all. It's just, oh my
Yeah,
god, he
if
can
they
kill
start
my
spending yours.
spellbreaker. Oh no.
Yeah, he sure can.
Will
I mean,
he?
this is still really close, right? Like if he does kill your spellbreaker, then you're down at tier 3, he's down at tier 3. You're probably I mean, like you're pretty meaningfully ahead in terms of cosmetic damage on a lot of these units too, because there's like a white witch that's mostly dead. But like a white witch that's mostly dead can still free units, and that's kind of all that really matters.
Oh
Oof. Not the target I was expecting. Interesting. Interesting,
yeah,
interesting.
Why?
I'm not expecting this too.
I think he didn't want to miss with the 20% chance because he knows his luck.
I mean, I
I don't
guess,
know.
but
He has good chance to kill my spellbreaker. I think he afraid that his hero die on no, next turn. That's
That
why
too.
he
Yeah.
go back with this hero.
that makes sense. If he traded his level 6 hero for your spellbreaker, that would be really good for you.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I think I was expecting you to come a little bit further forward once you saw all those units were insane, because it kind of forced Ninju to not be able to support those units very easily, because if he did, they were going to insane a lot more guys. So I think like there was a possibility for you to just throw down the damage over times, but at the same time, I feel the pain of
You
of
want your own
insanity.
guys getting insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I get it. Like why you'd want that.
You guys are all chicken.
Yep.
Make your own units insane. Live free, die
Mhm.
hard.
But you just gotta send somebody forward who can't be insane, right? And I don't know if I don't think we had those pieces on Zombie's side.
I don't there aren't a lot of them in this skirmish format. I think Vigor is like the number one by a pretty big margin.
Yeah, I mean constructs. I was thinking about it, and I think Ironclad might start to make more appearances.
Yeah, there aren't a lot of mythics. I mean, also Bone Dragon that's available, but there are some that are even in this bracket.
It's true. I should do a Bone Dragon build.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
and you don't even
I need
have to take Whiteborn
this.
now because of the menagerie. Although I think we probably should have a conversation about how we should use menagerie if you're. I feel like if you're taking a tier 3 tome that does not naturally have a tier 4 unit, that you probably should not be able to just audible into a Phoenix for everybody.
Yeah.
I think it probably makes sense that you can take like menagerie coins up to what you can naturally produce.
I also think like the Bone Dragon and the Nymph may be things that shouldn't
Yeah,
be
things that are tome
picked
based maybe
unless you have the
stay with the
tome. Yeah,
tome. Yeah.
agree.
All right, so is Zombie gonna take out that warden here?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Zombie,
Yeah,
you're
why
in the
not?
channel.
Yeah.
So yeah, we usually do it the other way, but I don't think it seems like we're just chilling now.
Oh my god. Hard decisions. Oh.
Also, like important to note that I did not respect before we started seeing it more in skirmish. Firebomb ignores zone of control problems.
It's pretty good on the bow mage, like pretty
Yeah,
useful.
pretty good. Like it's definitely not as impactful as like the generic battle mage ability on a lot of tier 3s, but having a backup giant AoE, because your giant AoE is usually like a 2 or 3 turn cooldown anyway, is really powerful.
Yeah, maybe I need to switch that into another build. I think I had one or two dragon builds that didn't really use that aspect of it. It would just take advantage of the fact that there's animals in
I want to
the
bring in
dragon
like one of
tomes.
our normal multiplayer games, Tomo Summoning into Tomo Dragons, because I have also been kind of impressed with the Astral Wisp with Firebomb on it. The only downside is that it requires you to go into a lot of picks on the battle magic tree, which is generally not very good. But you can get there with like resistance 1 and maybe one other low tier battle magic skill, and then resistance 2, and then Astral Wisp.
Ah!
So you should be able to get it with mostly
Oh my
Whoa.
god.
stuff.
I don't know how it's
Ooh.
work. What
Oh,
You grazed.
What?
He had clingy
Grazed
mist, right? No?
on all attacks?
Wait
he's
a
got
minute.
quick reflexes, so you just like I think you just got hosed by accuracy.
You have to look at the combat log, Zombie. 1
Yeah.
HP? Oh no! All of them grazed and he has 1 HP? That's insane. Well, he dies next turn, I think.
No.
I mean, he was gonna be
Guys,
dead, but
this
the
turn.
question was, did he want that unit just sticking around?
Yeah.
generating value. Probably not.
No, that was the guy needed to get his actions Arcanist.
Okay, so now Zombie is up 2 tier 3 units.
He keeps grazing though, and I think if Ninja gets enough dice rolls, it might be enough.
I don't. It depends on how what pieces are remaining though, right? Because if Zombie were deleting tier 1 units, then that would be a lot less meaningful. But removing a bunch of Ninju's most important pieces, I think, flattens the curve out for him a lot.
I think it, yeah.
Look at that. One turn on that spell shield to kill
Easy.
that Mammoth. Easy, no problem. And that wasn't even strength in 5, that was strength in 3. Oh my god.
Mm.
This other
Terror.
spellbreaker still looks crazy dead though, right?
No, no.
Uh,
He can survive this.
Well, I guess show us.
yeah, I think I'm missing something here.
Yeah, easy.
Oh.
Oh my god. if only he don't miss all attacks.
I know where
Zombie,
I
why
would
aren't you
throw
using
that
your auto
AoE.
hits?
Yeah.
Hmm?
Yeah, there we go.
Use the auto hits. Yeah. Then you can't graze. Because they automatically hit.
I heard about this thing. They
Yeah.
do.
It's pretty good.
Now it's time to see if Ninju's remaining pieces actually are scary enough to do anything. He's
Oh.
kept. He's alrighty. He's
I
kept
go
these
to
guys
Ninja
alive.
because I think he lonely.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. He
I mean,
managed to
I
keep
think
the
honestly,
important units here, the Animist and the heroes alive. Those are the most important
yeah,
things when you're playing
he's got
Primal.
a lot of tools left, and the front line can get rolled up pretty quickly because he does have Phantasmal Warriors. So if he can rock out both of those Arcane Guards and get into this tasty underbelly that Zombie has here, I still think he could pull it back. But he needs to Ninja needs to start pressuring.
Zombie did some very strange things with that last turn that just did not make any sense to
I don't
me.
understand. He's shot so many times. Like, why are you taking all of these attacks at 40%? You have abilities that can't miss. This is crazy.
I don't get it, man. Zombie's so good sometimes, and then he makes these decisions I don't understand.
I think that both of us have had days where we have not played at 100%, and
Yeah.
I think that is understandable.
It happens.
It just happens sometimes.
Gosh, I hope tomorrow is not one of those days. I want to play
I'm
well.
really excited. Like playing Mystic is a very different experience, but it's still a lot of fun.
Oh, Graze. Man, he's grazing. There's so many grazes in this fight.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it makes sense that the mammoths would be grazing a lot because the mammoths are not getting the Fey ability, and so this is another one of those things why it's like xenophobic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mists and construct both do not play well with things like primal, because your spirit guy is not going to get either of those bonuses going.
Yeah.
Whereas, like conversely, with the with wild speakers, a tier 2, especially here in skirmish mode, that you can give killing momentum to is actually pretty good.
That is true. I don't know why. I haven't gotten into the Mist Tome that much. I played it a few times and I thought it's okay, but I enjoy other things more right now. The primals just are generally more fun for me to play around with.
Yeah, I think mists is very, very powerful. Exactly how powerful does depend a lot on the meta that you're playing in and like who you're playing with. But it is a very powerful tome. But it is pretty boring because this is like how many different abilities do you want to stack on one unit, right?
I did not do a good job of looking at my chat today. I'm just looking over there and I'm seeing all these messages from like an hour
Oh,
ago.
good. Perfect.
Hello, viewers! I have 8 of you today.
Hello.
Yay!
Hi.
There's a question about we play games. Yes, we play games this year. And which summon is the strongest in my opinion? For me, I go between Crocodile and Wolf, and I don't really know if I can say one is stronger. It's just situationally one will be better in other situations than the other.
How many times have you used Wolf?
I've used it a few times in these skirmishes, and I've seen it in some of our other multiplayers. Like I think Bad Wolf likes the wolf because not just the name, it's a
Yeah.
good one.
Yeah.
And he's like one
I
of those
mean,
players
in
that likes
terms
to
of the
find the really
damage
good
output,
stuff.
it's really, really good. I've never found an opportunity to like. I still have not successfully gotten the AI to like cast the summon spell like consistently, and
No,
so it's really tricky to like how do we evaluate primals based off of spirits if they're not going to be using them that much in auto combat.
I don't know if it'll ever get addressed. I really do hope it does. But for me,
It
what
it
I think its place is low combat until player versus player time, just because we don't
Yeah.
do the manual combats. If you were doing manual combats, it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be the
Right,
best one,
but
I
if you're doing
think.
manual combats, then you're also entering into the realm where, unless you're playing on brutal, probably people are not going to lose any units at all in the early game, and like the nature of economies are pretty different under those circumstances.
Hmm.
Like manuals, if you're doing like PBM style, they basically lose nothing. And like imagine how fast your economy grows in Age of Wonders 4 if you don't have to spend like every turn building units for the first 15 turns because everything dies in autos.
Yeah.
You just have so many more resources to pile into growth. It's crazy.
It's definitely what you want to be doing most of the time. I feel like I like playing around with less meta builds and trying to see if there's a space for like theoretically not always killing your free city. I like the idea of not just attacking my people
I
that
mean,
aren't in my
Banner Lord.
empire.
Have you tried Banner Lords these days?
I never bought Banner Lords. I probably should because I
Dude, you
really
should.
liked the old one. Not I think Banner Lords is this different name than the older titles. I think they changed something between.
Oh, no, no, no. I don't mean the video game. I mean the society tree.
Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh,
Yeah, Banner
not in a
Lords.
long time.
You should run it again. It's don't think of it as necessarily a free city ability, but rather the like a payoff for having an enormous amount of gold. But if you have a lot of gold these days, you can become friendly with a tier 3 free city, and because the Rally of the Leashes has been updated, now you get tier 3 and tier 4 units off of tier 3 cities. You
Yeah.
don't get enough rally points, so you have to get, a bronze wonder somewhere. But like you can get tier 4 units on like turn 12 in auto resolve with a friendly tier 3 free city at the beginning of the game, as long as you clear a bronze wonder and you're running Banner Lords, and then like and that's not a one-off thing,
Yeah.
right? You
It
can
can
get them
happen.
on turn 12 and then turn 16 and then turn 21, because if you have enough cash you can rush the rallies through, and because it costs more per turn, and because your like total number of turns is halved in Banner Lords,
Hmm.
like you don't need an enormous gold economy in order to make them work, but it's really, really gross when it gets rolling.
That's a fair point. I should probably consider that more often than I used to because it was good. It was fine, but then they
It
they
was
changed
fine.
it
It let
significantly.
you recruit a level 3 hero on turn 1, which was really good. That was the main advantage in ye olden days because it gave you a friendly free city that you automatically identified. And so as long as you found 50 gold, you could recruit a level 3 hero immediately.
Maybe
And then
I'm
now,
forgetting something. You're saying if I take Bannerlords, I just have contact with a tier 3 city that's friendly? Is that how
no,
it
you're
works?
not guaranteed. You're not
Ah,
guaranteed to get a tier 3. That's the downside of
it
Bannerlords, is
could.
that it puts you in contact with your closest free city and gives you 25 allegiance with them.
Okay.
And then gives you extra relationship with them. So like you basically they're guaranteed to be your vassal. And then because of the extra opinion bonus in the olden days, you used to be able to just recruit a hero on turn 1, and if it was off of a free city, it was level 3 instead of level 1.
Right,
And so you would
right.
just start with a level 3 hero like on turn 1 every single time.
Yeah.
It was really good. It was really good. But now Bannerlords does something different, which is just give you access to insanely high tier units.
Gosh,
On
I
like
should be
very,
doing
very
that then.
early. You just
I
need a lot of cash, that's all.
I'll note that. I should be playing that in the next in my next multiplayer because I wanna do more of those friendly builds with like Devotees of Good or something.
Yeah, you as long as you have gold, then Devotees of Good and Bannerlords can work plenty of magic.
Yeah, and that's a not necessarily go out and farm everything, or you have to go out and farm everything strategy. You could just literally buy that and have what you need to go do some pretty early combats against other players pretty effectively.
Yeah. Go play as Ash Sabertooth and get infinite amounts of gold and then laugh off the lack of foresters, because it doesn't matter, right? Like
Yeah.
if you're not doing any research because on turn 20 you're attacking with 3 tier 4s,
Oh, the
then
cities did all the research I needed. You're right.
yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. Like the research doesn't matter. You don't need tier 2 tomes if you have tier 4 units.
Yeah. Wait, yeah. Why have I not been doing this?
Yeah.
Write this down once.
And of course, that's like
Bannerlord's
the high
build.
roll, but like the mid roll is just you find a tier 2 free city, but a tier 2 free city will still allow you to recruit tier 3 units. And so you just need to find, again, just another source of rally points, and then it's really good.
I like that idea. Ash Sabertooth or the Serpent, because Serpent is slightly better when it comes to the effect, I think, right?
Serpent is way more playable because you don't have to worry about like having a no forester roll. But if
As
you're
often.
going like full as often, yeah, you can still get them on Dune Serpent, but it's pretty small. I think that is something where it's like the Mists thing, where like you should probably assume that you are going to get foresters as Dune Serpent, and if you don't, you just got unlucky. Whereas with Ash Sabertooth, if you get foresters at all, you're lucky. And
So
that's where it's like a little more complicated.
We haven't been talking about the way this combat is unfolding, but are you winning, Ninju?
I was coming in here to say, you know what? I think I'm gonna come out of this the victor.
I think
I
you're
mean,
winning.
Ninju has rolled up the front line pretty convincingly.
I feel like I should have been watching more closely because dang,
Zombie,
this positioning is looking grand.
What? How many 3 or 4 units last turn that could have taken auto hit attacks and instead just missed?
Oh no.
Instead just chose to miss.
Is that what happened? Oh no, Zombie.
Oh, yeah.
Zombie, you can't just kill me tomorrow in multiplayer. That's unacceptable. You're not. This is okay. He had such good positioning just a few turns ago.
Yeah, he had I think all the pieces he needed to win. But
No, I
definitely didn't
think
have the engagement.
Well, okay, he definitely could have won if he used the
He
infectious
easily
insanity
could have
better,
won if he just like hadn't wasted turns 2 and 3 just watching you at a distance. But he chose not to.
Once he allowed me to engage, though, things went south for him very fast. Both because of the insane action economy that these mammoths give me, but also because of just how absurd Famous is. Like he should be obliterating my Phantasm Warriors, but not when he has a 5% chance to hit them. So get wrecked.
Yeah, I think
Good job,
part
Ninju.
of it was that he just he wasted all his casting points on doing aesthetic damage to your units, right? He didn't cost
Mhm.
you anything meaningful with the Infectious Insanity, and because he wasn't doing anything proactive at the beginning of the game, all of that time that he could have been throwing Battle Mage AoEs at you, he was just wasting his own casting points, and now I assume now he is actually out of gas, because now
Oh
his
yeah.
spellbreakers aren't able to just sit here and cast and use their casting points ability over and over again.
Oh.
So I feel like he easily could have won this, but I think he did pretty meaningfully misplay the first couple of turns.
He had so
And that
much.
really did come
He
back
had
to bite
s-
him, I think.
he didn't take advantage of his damage over times when you had no dispel. Like that was big too.
Yeah,
Like if he
he
just
had there
done
were
the
like
auto hits
multiple
that
turns
may have done some
auto
AoEs.
do some dots that I think he could have. I think he could have done a lot of extra damage over the last 3 or 4 turns with better battle mage use. But that sometimes people make mistakes. It happens.
So not only did you successfully build the tryhard build, you made us believe it wasn't gonna work and then made it work.
I'm telling
I
you,
think this
Famous
was
is
less
actually broken.
Ninju made it work and more zombie misplayed.
I think I did some good plays in there. Zombie definitely misplayed a lot, and if he hadn't, I wouldn't have a chance. But
I mean, like if as you identified, if during those turns where you were effectively doing nothing except playing damage control, if he had been just at the edge of the map throwing in battle mage attacks, I think the fight would
he
have been
didn't
over
even.
by like turn 5.
Oh, he didn't even need to do
But
that. He needed to just
he
move up and threaten me,
do
right?
something. Yeah, he just needed to do something, and he just did nothing. And that gave you the time to pull your resources together.
Yup. All right, I'm headed back over there.
I think Zombie will rewatch this, and I hope he sees what we were saying.
Yeah, I mean, I understand the risk calculation that if you are playing with Infectious Insanity and you get too close, then there is a chance that you get insaned back. But like you're talking about, what maybe a 5 or 10% chance of catastrophic failure versus this, which is just sitting around wasting all of your casting points. And now, once the actual fight has started, because this is the actual fight, having nothing left in the tank, and that's, I think, a lot worse than the small chance of getting screwed by having Infectious Insanity spread to your own dudes at a really far distance.
We had a question about if it's possible to play with us. You can join the Discord and try and play with us in the future. I'm pretty sure we're wrapping up our streams after this one, right, Walker?
Yeah, I was recording this one, not even streaming it, because there's some bad like lawn maintenance sounds going on at the opening of it.
Yeah. No worries, that makes sense. But yeah, the game that we have on Sundays is gonna go probably for a little bit, I would expect. We just started it, so I think in the future we may have like openings for skirmishes. I kind of want to see if we can get more skirmishes going on the side while we're doing our skirmishes at this time. Kind of just make Saturday a skirmish day for people so that they can get these games going on their own more easily. But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think if you just join the Discord and message people, you're probably gonna find some people who would be into trying to do this more often. The author of the mod, Badaki doesn't get to play with us too much, so he'd probably appreciate another player to skirmish with every once in a while. I'm trying to think about how I want to get this link to him. I think I can just copy it here, invite people. Copy button. This should take you to my Discord. Did it get
I mean,
removed
as
or is
bad
it
as
there?
this is here for Zombie, it's still not like technically over in the event that he can find a way to deal with all of these low tier units. Then it doesn't look like there's a lot of gas left in Ninja's tank either. But yeah, this has been a really bad last couple of turns here.
It's gonna be tight still, like regardless of who wins. I think it'll come down to a few units, and it'll probably take a while. But yeah, I think if you message people like just one person, it's generally better than adding a bunch of people with the skirmish tag. Not sure how to say the name. Guyan Franco looks like I don't know, a new name to me. But yeah, if you just like you see that there's other people in the skirmish thing that have been playing, you can always say, "Hey, zombie," or "Hey, Nurgle, which is Walker here," or me, or who else have we had here? Sedgehammer, Badoc. You could just like add them, and since they're very active here, they're more likely to say yes or no.
Oh yes, he's doing it. He's gonna try to summon again.
Of course.
Of course.
I mean, yeah, that's what he does. I'm so proud of
Get 15
Ninju.
Mammoths out. I think that Ninju did play the like mid game pretty well. I think both players played the early game not well, but you know, that's the way that it goes sometimes. And Ninju definitely recovered really well into the engagement.
There's still a fair few of these battle mages in the back, which will hit hard. They will.
They will, and they have the draconic vitality, and so like I think there remains a non-zero chance that he can keep these guys around for a long time. But like what helped me last time whenever I had a build that was sort of like this fighting against Ninju was that I was claiming mists and Fey touched and he wasn't.
Mhm.
And so like a lot of my battle mists, not only could they, not immediately die because they would, be dodging and whatnot, but then the regeneration kicked in. But if you're not burly enough to not die, or evasive enough to get out of the way.
Only so many outcomes that you're going to be facing there. I think this build that I was thinking of could work against something like this. Because, like, yeah, it can't be too accuracy reliant. That's just going to not work.
Yeah, if you're fighting against mists, like you need ways to get around accuracy entirely. And Zombie had all the tools. He had all the tools, but it's not just having the tools; it's how you use them.
Yeah, I like this unit. I think I'll use I can't bring it up on screen easily. But I've used it before in the skirmish, and I liked the results.
Which unit?
I guess I'll tell you. I like the Ironclad. I like the AoE it does. I think that will work decently well
Yeah.
against Mistlings, but the problem is a 50% accuracy, so it's got its own problems too.
I think if you want to try that, try it out with a Spring Fairy.
Mm-hmm.
The Spring Fairy
True
on
Shot.
Yeah, True Shot, exactly. Spring Fairy was okay on like Glade Runners and stuff, but I imagine that on a Dreadnought it would be incredible.
I mean, that's if it works. If it does not,
does.
you've
Does.
tried it. Oh, nice.
I mean, it's a ranged attack. Unless it's bugged, it should.
Well, it doesn't have a chance to miss, so it may have its own line of code. That includes scattering, and if that takes it off into a separate area, I could see it like maybe
Yeah, you're
not
right.
triggering.
Well, this is the perfect opportunity to test it, I suppose.
Right? Yeah. I think before skirmish might be the perfect opportunity to test it, but I think for skirmish it'd be good to know that.
No, just bring a Spring Fairy on Reavers. Like Reavers is a perfectly reasonable opportunity to use Spring Fairy in skirmish, regardless of whether or not it works on Dreadnought.
Why is that marks or something? I
You
forgot
just do
what that one
outrageous
does.
amounts of damage with your mage locks, right? If you have 1 or 2 mage locks that have 100% to hit at a 5 or 6 range,
Yeah.
they'll remove units pretty quickly.
Yeah, the Spring Fairy it does True Strike strengthened, and that's not marked there. I thought it might have a mark on it or something. But yeah, no, a lot of damage, not bad. I was thinking a different, what you call it, core other than Reaver. But I know what you mean. Reaver would work well on it because you just need it to do damage.
Right. It gives you another alternative for using ranged attacks, without like high damage ranged attacks without being dedicated on your tier 3 slot. Because I feel like although Glade Runners are really good in Empire mode, I don't know how powerful they are in Skirmish. Because you can't really like mass them here the same way that you can in like Empire mode.
Yeah.
And that means that like I'm a lot less sold on using tier 3 ranged units, at least so far. But like, if you have a mage lock or if you're playing with barbarians, you have furies. Those are really good ways for you to use True Strike.
Nobody's found a good way to use the cannons, like, right?
I don't think there is a good way to use the cannons.
Okay, I was gonna say,
They are
I want to bring
they are
one.
expensive.
Howdy.
And hey, what's up?
Right.
Hey, so I just wanted to say really quick that I'm very proud of myself, both for remembering to use Aspect of the Root, which I always forget about, but also that Dark Ritual play that I did, I thought was very well put together. Since
Yeah.
that leader had
Yeah.
Visions of Woe, but it didn't matter because I had Dark Ritual, so I wasn't really doing the damage. It did blast hit one of his units, and also his Arcane Guard is about to lose by control, but now it's about to be surrounded by decaying zombies, so it can't do anything, and I'm probably going to kill it anyways.
Yeah, the fact that you got double Dark Ritual on this fight and then didn't have to lose either of them in the Infectious Insanity battle
I still
means
haven't
that-
used one of them.
Yeah, like you didn't use either. Like it could have gone pretty badly for you if one of your heroes had been hit. But given that mostly it was just your low tier units slapping each other around, I do think that those first 3 or 4 turns were a lot better for you than they were for Zombie. And in retrospect,
Mhm.
he didn't use the time.
Nah, and blowing away all of his CP is really big. Because, like, look at how
Yeah.
I've been using my CP. I've been getting some great action economy out of those mammoths.
He got great action economy too, dude. Like he got
No, of
4,
course, but it
5,
didn't.
6 units to do nothing for multiple
Action
turns.
economy
but, like,
means nothing if the rest of
he's
his
not
army isn't
using it.
using their actions,
Yeah.
right? His action economy was very poor. He took away 6 moves from me, but he sacrificed all of his moves in effect. I sacrificed not exactly, but
Yeah, he needed to use that early game time a lot more proactively than he did.
yeah. All right. See you later.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
doing good, dude. I think I win here. I don't
mean,
see how Zombie actually
Zombie
recovers
still can
now.
do outrageous amounts of damage if he just stop shooting.
Stop!
Because like all Firebomb is something you can use from inside ZOC.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, like that. But like he could have blasted both of those heroes and reduced the White Witch and the tier 1 to rubble.
Wait,
but
he
I guess
hit
just wanted to get rid of
himself.
those.
Why did he hit himself with that?
No, he didn't hit himself. So he moved.
No, the other one that
Wait, did he?
firebombed, he hit his own unit. Why?
Oh yeah, he had to actually, because there wasn't a way to hit just those 2
Oh,
after he moved in the spell shield.
50% adjacent.
There
It doesn't do
wasn't.
full.
Yeah, there wasn't a
Yeah,
space.
yeah.
Yep.
My word. Well, I'm glad to see that you can make mammoths work if you combine them with mistlings. Because I really thought mammoths was not that good of an option after playing with it a little
still
bit.
don't think that they were like the silver bullet here. I think the big issue was just that like Zombie's front line was not particularly beefy, and he didn't do enough to reduce enemy models as they were closing in. Because
Yeah.
he didn't have the disruption, because he didn't have the casting points once the fighting actually started. And now his front line is just gonna get obliterated. Right? Just
Right.
melted by that decaying zombie. Holy crap.
So what's it for? Now they will not regenerate, unfortunately. So sad.
Yep.
This is where Zombie presses
This could
the
have been
delete all
such a
button.
good fight for him. This could have been such a good fight for him. Oh, Zombie.
This makes me feel like I need to go actually take fights with Zombie more. Like, but it's not true. When he fights me, he doesn't do this.
Yeah, sometimes, like, I mean, like, in our last game, like, I just, like, did not play well in that last fight, and sometimes that's all that you have to do is just get, like, one good, important fight, where somebody just doesn't play well,
Yeah.
and this is being Skirmish is as unimportant to fight as it can get, because no one's invested 16 hours to get here, but, sometimes that's all you need.
Oh, but I invested many hours into thinking about my build.
We're gonna call that a skill issue. Thinking about your build.
Yeah. Who does that?
Just click buttons. Do damage. Make damage.
This is what Zombie did.
Yeah. Zombie did also get like because of all of the attacks that he was taking at like 40 and 60%. I can't necessarily say unlucky, but he was taking a lot of 40s and 60s in some of those middle round turns and missed like all of them, or like had serious issues with all of them. Oh my god. It's deleted.
Yeah, I was thinking that would be a pretty good seduce, but that's not even a bad distracted. That's quite useful. That does
Yep.
stuff.
If you kill the unit in question, then the distracted's pretty good value. Are we gonna see another
I
dark
think
ritual here?
I think you
Because
do.
that
Yeah, you get
he
2
could
units and kill.
2 and get 2 units.
You know,
Yeah.
why wouldn't you? And it blocks off those guys, battle mages. They
Yeah.
have to.
There it is.
I would have done it the other way because you would have been able to block off the other Arcanist. I think there's a
Yeah.
hex
Like
there.
1 up.
Still not bad. I mean, those guys are really blocked in now.
I mean, now we're in the range where like if Zombie wins this somehow, what do we do for Zombie? Because this is impossible. He is just getting rolled up on that front.
It's true.
And it isn't even like the animists themselves were the core of a lot of those mammoths. Those are just the spell over and over and over again. He got 1 summon on each animist, right?
I haven't seen more than that. I only see 2 bodies over here, and I think there's like a third that may have been devoured, or
A lot
this
of
fourth.
yeah, they 2 of them got devoured by dark rituals.
Yeah, that makes sense. 2 from spells, 2 from the animists. None
Yeah.
from the heroes, which I think is interesting. No spears.
Do you
Better
generally
staffs.
find yourself whenever you're playing primals here in Skirmish wanting the staff?
Yeah.
Like every single time?
Yeah, I think because tier 1s exist, but yeah, I think so. I think it's is pretty solid because then you have another unit that can use those charges to generate a unit. And I generally put the spiritual healing on them too, so they basically become another animist.
Yeah, super animist.
And at
But
that
like,
point,
hey,
I don't
that's
even
not even a
treat them
bad
like
thing. Like,
heroes. They're
you get
they're
another
just
warding.
healing and
Yeah,
building
doing
those
stuff.
charges and summoning in things. And on top of that, if that's what my ruler is doing, they're not getting
Then
attacked.
your ruler is exactly your ruler is safe, so you're not gonna have it die.
So yeah, I generally really like it on their
See,
ruler.
now he's using all the fire bombs. Like, look how much damage he's doing here. I don't know, man. I feel like Zombie had all the tools he needed here and just opted to do something different.
Well, you also have to keep in mind that it's a cooldown too, so he may have been saving them for that nymph. He was like, I need to burn that nymph.
He might have been, you're right. But I don't think that is the way he needed to take the engagement against Oops All Mists, right? I
Yeah.
think he wanted to do as much damage as quickly as possible to try to remove some of these units.
Yeah, there just wasn't enough dispels on the field. I think on both sides actually there aren't a lot of dispels, but yeah,
Yeah,
definitely on
there's like
Ninjas.
almost nothing other than the 1x nymph, which could have been easily overwhelmed. There just like wasn't a lot of status resistance removal. Ooh, baby. Yep, big damage.
That does do a thing,
I mean,
huh?
this is very similar to the end game that we had last time, when we had Mystics with Tomo Dragons, but yeah, I think the lack of frontline is just going to be too much for him.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, there's a melee unit up here.
So 1x Arcane Guard
How did you
holding
get
on.
there? Like, what? I don't think he got his orders. He's just like. Well then. Yeah, I think it'd be really cool to have this new person in chat here in future skirmishes. I think it'd be good to have some variety. I think Mia and Gian could play against each other and
Yeah,
practice a little.
we should again like we'll try to put together like a community day or two, but I think if we can even just fire like a Swiss tournament, that would be good because Swiss at least means that if you lose your first round, it doesn't matter. You can play against other people who also lost their first round,
Yeah.
and then very quickly you end up being paired against people where you have good games naturally every single time, both at the people playing for first as well as people playing for like bottom. Like you can still have really really great games with Swiss.
I think I was wanting to do something for the year, but then like it just flew by, and also I just crossed 2K subscribers like in the past month and a half, so I was like it would be cool to do a tournament kind of like around either of those. But at this point, I think just getting one
Yeah, just
together and like
if we
just
can
setting a
do it
day, just like at
without
end of the
timing,
month or
just doing
something,
it.
that'd be
Yeah.
pretty cool. Like not next weekend because I think that's kind of quick turnaround.
Yeah,
Um,
I think we
but
should do.
potentially we could even do something the first of
Yeah,
June. Like that would be 2 weekends to give us some time to actually reach out and think about it.
yeah, like
Because we want to
post
try and
some
get some
stuff
more
on
players if we
community
can.
channels.
It might
Yeah.
just be like more of a trial one than like the like full one or whatever we're thinking. Because we kind
Yeah.
of do need more players and an established player base before I think we can have like a bigger tournament of what like 8 people even. Um,
Yeah. I think if we want to make it happen, I think we probably want to post on our community channels at some point, and see if we can just get people to volunteer for playing in community games against other people.
mhm,
Like not even necessarily against us, just like, randos on the internet fighting against
yeah,
each other. And not everybody feels comfortable with that, and like that's unfortunate. Like that just means that there are going to be some people who are um not going to be intentionally excluded. It's just that if you don't feel comfortable playing on Discord with folks, it's a lot harder to cast your games. But I think once we get just people playing skirmish against each other, then they should be all right.
yeah. No, I agree. I think when the skirmish channel first started here on my Discord, it didn't have that many people interacting, but we've slowly grown the interactions and the people that have like stopped by here.
Yeah, yeah,
And I think, yeah, we'll probably see it more growth if we stick with it because it is pretty fun for me. I think that when people see people having fun, they're more likely to want to give it a try. So yeah,
yeah. I think that's a reasonable guess. I have to say that these white witches, although the freezing on the Phantasm Warriors was cute. Um, I don't know how much they've done beyond just act as like essentially souped up arcanists just shooting people. Like there haven't been a ton of super crucial freezes that they've pulled off so far.
well, their base
It's mostly just
damage
been damage.
is
Yeah.
okay, right? Like what?
Yeah, it's not bad.
Trying to find a full health one over here. This guy's close to full health. He does like what? He does 17 damage. The Arcanist does more base damage even injured.
Yeah, well, you're also looking with like a bunch of different buffs and stuff,
Oh
right?
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that white witch
Did he
has
go
5 stacks of
Draconic?
strengthened on it.
And he's probably yeah, he's Draconic. He's gone into his thing,
Yeah,
right?
he's got
Draconic Rage.
Rage. He's
Hmm.
got So these got there's like always a bunch of random numbers on each side, no matter what. But the white witches so far haven't really justified themselves as much to me, but that's mostly been just a function of the evil science not working.
Yeah, they
If
do
it
have
had worked there,
some.
that would have been sick.
They have well, I'm not gonna say they have more defenses, right? No, not really. This
Not
Arcanist is
really.
actually kind of tankier.
Yeah,
This
if you take
Evoker is kind
if
of weaker, but
oh
that's a
yeah,
tier
you're right.
2.
The evoker is pretty fragile. The evoker is as fragile as the arcanists, really. Tier 2 battle mages, not even once.
I use them every once in a while. I've had some good value with Evokers against like some Phantasm Warriors. They just when they counter
Yeah.
things, they're so good.
Evokers are great against tier 1 units, and there are a lot of them in this format.
Well, there's a fair few things that are even weak to lightning too, so it can help in certain fights. Like oh boy, that location.
I just wish that the electrified was more frequent. 30% chance on lightning bolts, and that's not even natural to the evoker.
Yeah,
That's because of the lightning focus, so they don't naturally have any chance to inflict electrified. Like, why?
maybe they should just have a little bit. 10%.
The witch has a 30% chance to freeze on its base attack.
On its base, is that from a mod? That can't be right,
I
is
don't
it?
think that is. I don't think it
No,
is.
I know
He
it
doesn't
is.
have
It
any
is.
spells here.
Yeah, it is. It's a Fury of the
Where?
Glacial Mammoth. Fury. He can get frost through
Oh,
that, which is a
oh,
pretty
right.
good.
He's getting it from that. Triple hits at like 10 or 11%. But
Yeah.
if you inflict slowed every single time, that's pretty good.
I think that's actually one of the things that I forgot about the Mammoth that actually brings it up a bit in the competitiveness. It's not the Mammoth itself that is necessarily the scariest thing. It's that effect is actually quite
Yeah.
nice.
Triple
30%
hit,
meh, but
30%.
frozen whenever
If
you get
you
it.
Yeah, if you have a 9% chance to inflict frozen, but a 100% chance to inflict slowed, then that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's also true. And then that lets you do your frost blades.
Or just any slowed is just a fantastic ability, no matter what, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fewer retaliations, slower movement speed. Even if you're not getting extra damage off of that, oh my god, what was the chance on that? That
30% or
was
so, right?
no 30% against status resistance because that's a tier
Alright,
3. That
chance of
had to have
reduction
been
is
like a
27%.
literal 11 or something like that. Like
I like this.
almost nothing.
Well, you got to take them in order to get nothing.
Yeah, it doesn't. I don't think that matters. If Zombie gets angry, I do apologize, but he was not going to win this fight from here anyway. So that was just like an insult to injury frozen roll for sure.
There's 2 units.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got just 2 units. He's out of heroes, he's out of everything. He can't win.
That's a tragedy. We should go join them, I think.
I'm astounded. Astounded.
Yeah. I'm going to go over to the other one.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Hello.
Yeah, because I spent all my turns killing this mammoth.
Uh-huh. I'm telling you, Primal's really dumb. Tome of the Fey Mist is really dumb. Combine these things, it's just ridiculous the amount of action economy you get out of
Just
summons and devaluing your
click your
opponent's attack
buttons,
so
please.
much. Okay.
This has been quite a fight. I've
Yeah,
been
we can hear this
oh my.
conversation 15,000 times.
He's so lucky today.
Someone's salty about
I don't
my luck
have
today.
I don't
It's very
don't
funny.
have words. How he luck.
Well, when you have bad luck like 364 days out of the year, there's one day where you get good luck, and today is that day.
Okay, but Zombie also thinks that he didn't severely misplay the first 3 turns.
No, it's okay.
I think that it's one of those games where, well, if we could put it into a supercomputer, we would find the perfect play. I disagree. I think that Zombie should have used those early turns more proactively, because like it was risk on to get closer to your army. Like that's impossible to deny. But if he had gotten closer to your army while your army was disrupted and been able to actually pressure it, then by
Oh,
the
yeah.
time they got to that frontline clobber, then if he had been up, 3 tier 1 units, because he'd been able to successfully deal some damage to those, I think he could have won that.
Well, I want
What
to
he
say
really needed to do was, if he had used like something like not Phantasm Warriors. So if he had taken Resilient as a form trait and then used his supports to grant status protection to his front line, like the main problem with him
Well,
engaging
he
me
did
during
that.
Infectious
He did that.
Insanity
He
is
used
the
warding really well, but
well. So
he didn't do any damage to you.
yeah,
He
because
just
the main risk,
mostly
the reason why
threw
he wouldn't want to
insanity
do
and
that.
stood at the edge.
Yeah, well, the reason he didn't move closer to do that is the fear of Infectious Insanity spreading to his units, right?
yeah.
So if he
Yes.
just did
Yeah.
everything to minimize the front line, having that happen to it, I think he would have been okay. Especially if he brought an imp himself, so he could just cleanse wherever that happened. I think that his
I
strategy.
think it was a good strategy that didn't work out.
Both of you guys built really impressive builds, and I think you played really well. Like in terms of if I compared this to just a random Age of Wonders 4 player and what they would put together and how they would play, I was very impressed by both of you guys, and I love these skirmishes. I'm super excited to see more of them. If we need to start thinking about like Ninja was saying, the mists plus like mammoths, something about that. It's like it's a lot of action economy. I think there's counter ways to counter it, but I think at the same time maybe picking a ban system so people don't have to always try to be thinking about that, so they can play
Yeah,
other builds,
maybe.
could be kind of
Yeah,
helpful
maybe
at one point.
in permaban.
No. I'm not
if you
ready to say
start going
that.
into that realm, then like if you're gonna do pick and ban, we have to start doing that ahead of time, because
Yeah.
like we cannot have
Yeah,
the first
and
45 minutes of a stream be just picking
Mhm.
and banning things.
Yeah, no,
and
Yeah, we'd
I
have to
see what
do
you
that like
mean.
the day before or something.
Yeah,
Ninja,
day ahead.
and you have a very good combo. It's Fate touched
With a ton of healing. Yeah, Walker did that to me before.
tone
Yeah.
tone of healing and summons.